late and we're trying new things. This is a short intro, spooky short intro. And yeah, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Thursday Episode.
I'm trying to remember. There we go. Episode 31? Yeah, yes. 31. 30 Juan for my friend here.
Sí, señor.
There you go. Oh, look at that, all the bits, and they explode everywhere. They do that all the time.
Let me grab my bit cut here.
Alright, everybody. I'm your host, Harvey_Brother_1, also known as David, with my co-host here.
Raining Death, 909, also known as Kenneth.
There we go. We're trying a new format, which I'm currently glitching out slightly because green screen. Might just change it back to not being that double green screeny thing. Let's see. Yeah, let's just turn that part off. There we go. Yeah. I mean, you're still see like the shadows cause issues, but it's okay. So yeah, we're trying a new thing. Now you can see us closer. We're enhanced.
Enhanced.
And now you're stuck with this and that. Whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna try a new thing. He tried to do things, so we're gonna see what we're...
Yeah, we're gonna try some new formats, folks. Like we said last week, when we cut the show short, we're trying new ideas.
I kind of did like the last week's show, like super shortness and like how we blitz through things. This seems different, but I'm gonna have to...
Just let us know. Let's get your feedback on this. I want to see, we're making improvements for you guys.
Do people actually give feedback? Only like one person out of everybody. 2 people, really.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
There is no such thing as feedback. I don't know. Let's see. Is this music stuff? Good stuff. Good things. Bad things. All the things. Alright. So we start off with the shifting stand story, I guess. Yes, let's see what you're doing. Show me what you got. Show me how this works.
So I'll take it away. So, to start us off, we're going to start us off with the Saudi Arabian Royal Purge. As you may know...
The Purge.
Yes, the Purge. It's nearly as deadly.
Is it really?
Well, some people have died. It may or may not be related.
Probably related somehow.
Possibly. So, as you may know, folks, Saudi Arabia is going through a major upheaval, with the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman now leading most functions of the country of Saudi Arabia.
So is this the Arabian Prince everybody's been donating money for? Was it all for a coup?
They've been donating money?
No, the whole Arabian Prince thing, the scam.
Yes. He's one of the richest...
Is this what it was for?
Yep, for the takeover of Saudi Arabia.
Beautiful.
Yep. So recently, as I said, he's taken over most functions of the government, due in part after assembling an anti-corruption committee in a guise to give him the power to root out corrupt practices in Saudi Arabia. As the head of the committee, his first official act was to arrest and detain billionaire investor Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, a major investor in multiple high-tech organizations. He's a big investor in the Fox News Group, Twitter, Citigroup. I mean, the man is one of the richest men in the world. And he's now being held in house arrest in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Saudi Arabia, along with 12 other princes of the realm.
Interesting. Is it going to be a massive assassination thing? They all just going to get dead?
I don't think he'll kill them. It'd be too clear what his intentions are. So, as of right now, the Crown Prince, he's only 32, very young man, and has been in relative obscurity, only recently come to light in the last 3 years, as his father came to power in 2015. Since then, he's been on a meteoric rise in power and popularity, taking over, like I said, many functions of the government. Now, this is a clear power play to prevent usurpers from trying to take over from under him. Like I said, among those detained are 11 princes, 4 ministers, and 10 former ministers, according to Saudi Arabian officials. Among those detained is Prince Metsib bin Abdullah, who replaced the Minister of the National Guard, a pivotal power base rooted in the kingdom's tribes. That recalled a palace coup in June, actually, which ousted his elder cousin, Mohammed bin Nayef, as heir to the throne. So he's clearly making moves all over the place. He is already pretty much in control of the economy, the military, tourism, the major ambassadorial powers. Pretty much nothing happened in Saudi Arabia without his approval. And now that he's taken over the interior security forces, there's nothing that can stop him. Surprisingly, he has the mandate of the people. Like, a lot of people are seeing this as a positive thing. There's not really any major protests or any major division or advocates against these moves. Most people in Saudi Arabia see these moves as rooting out corruption, however that may be. And just this week, the Crown Prince has also declared war on Yemen and Lebanon. Yemen, if you may be aware, has been bombed by Saudi Arabia for the past many years. They're recently increasing all of their bombing campaigns against Yemen quite a lot. We've sold them billions of dollars of weapons. The UK is selling them billions of dollars in weapons. Pretty much, these major weapons manufacturers are making bank off Saudi Arabia right now.
We love selling weapons to everybody.
Interestingly enough, most of these countries are calling for peace, and they're like, war, we don't want war, what's this talking about? We're looking for peace here.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. So, and in latest reports that just came out today, ladies and gentlemen, King Salam is reportedly preparing to make his son, the Crown Prince, ruler of Saudi Arabia in a shocking move following the anti-corruption purge. I mean, I don't know if there's any precedent for this in recent history. I mean, generally, yes, rulers come to power, they get rid of any people who could be a threat to that, consolidate it all under them, and develop their own separate dynasty from the rest of the royal family. And that's clearly what's happening here. But I really can't remember anything happening like that in modern history. I mean, this is...
They're the only, what was it, monarchy that still has, like, isn't it like 12 princes or whatever?
Oh, God, no. There's hundreds.
Yeah, so there's a shit ton of, like, possible people.
Yeah. Where's one left to? Yes, only recently, so like I said, he's detained 12 princes. He's the Crown Prince. He has no children as far as I'm aware. So
there's a lot of people in line for the throne there.
Actually, not that many.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much taken out anybody who could be a threat to him right now.
Take him out back, beat him with a stick?
Pretty much.
Beautiful. Just the way I like it. Ultraviolet.
So, this is a very interesting time for Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince was also actually the one to push forward giving women the right to drive.
Oh, that's good.
As well as looking to push a more progressive agenda when it comes to tourism and getting people into Saudi Arabia. Because a lot of people, of course, worry that you're going to be arrested or the morality police and such, and he's trying to tamper that down. So,
that's good.
He's making moves. Good, bad, all over the place, but he's making moves. It's really going to be interesting to see what the future of Saudi Arabia looks like under him.
Yep, interesting. Was that all you got? Alrighty then.
Like I said, we're being punchy.
We're being punchy.
In a good way.
I mean... Okay, there we go. It's not leaking correctly anymore. Whatever. It'll be fine. They said. Next up, on the Saudi Arabia news, we have a story here about a Saudi helicopter crash. It kills a prince. A helicopter carrying several Saudi officials, including a high-ranking prince, has crashed in the kingdom's southwest near the border with Yemen. Prince Mansour bin Mukrin, I guess, Al Saud, deputy governor of Asir province, was on a tour of local projects west of the city of Abha when the crash happened on Sunday evening. The Saudi Interior Ministry said in a statement on Monday that the helicopter's wreckage had been found and an investigation was underway. Cause of the crash still unknown. The Saudi-owned news channel Al Arabiya reported that Prince Mansour bin Marik Queen died in the crash. 7 other officials were also reportedly killed. The son of former Crown Prince Makrin bin Abdulaziz, Prince Mansour bin Makrin was appointed deputy governor of Asir province, which borders Yemen earlier this year. Videos posted on Twitter hours before the crash showed him carrying out an inspection of defense and environmental projects. How many people? What kind of helicopter was that? 7 people plus himself?
I mean, that's a fairly large helicopter.
It's probably like a, nice helicopter. Like
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's a Saudi prince, so it's probably very expensive.
One of the many.
Which makes you wonder what brought it down. There are some rumors.
Did you read that?
Yes.
He looks like my father or your father. I believe you need to address him as daddy. Beautiful. Both. Anyway. Alright, carry on.
China, in a interesting move, has banned North Korean tourism.
Where is this? This store's... Oh, okay, no, that's right. I went that way. There we go. This way. Do we want to do... Is this video relevant?
Nah.
Okay. I do. What? Stop responding through Discord. Use Twitch or something.
Use the chat, man. At least we know people's there.
When you're running around, so you don't make you mad. God damn it. Jesus Christ.
One day before President Donald Trump arrives in China as part of his Asian tour, the country has banned tourism to North Korea, hitting one of the hermetic nation's few reliable revenue streams. Touring companies operating in the Chinese city of Dandong, which borders North Korea, were told by the Dandong Tourism Bureau to halt trips to Pyongyang ahead of Trump's visit to China. China. No word on whether this policy will continue if Trump leaves, but for now it's assumed to be permanent.
Ooh, interesting. I don't think it'll be permanent, but
I mean, I don't imagine it will be, but for as long as China,
as long as
North Korea's throwing up all this mess,
as long as this right here is Trump's penis, and this is China, and this is going on, so probably so.
Nah, but I mean, China is, of course, issuing out the sanctions that are prescribed by the UN, as well as everybody else. Mm-hmm. And, of course, China's like North Korea, they need to tamper down. We watch you listen to us, and North Korea's like, fuck off, China. You're not our boss.
There we go, let's see. I'm going to try to get the chat box in the middle between us. I don't know where's a good spot for the chat box, but we'll leave it right there in the middle. Right up there.
Just put it over there on your head.
Why does it have to be above my head? That's why I put it in between both of us.
Well,
so in the chat box, here, yes. There we go. Here. So I just feel like it's better that way. Whatever.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
So for the North Korean kingdom, tourism generates $44 million in revenue per year for North Korea, and is more than 80% of all foreign visitors are Chinese.
That's a lot of Chinese visitors, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, considering China has like most of the people in the world, and also borders China.
Yes.
So
nearly 250,000 Chinese traveled from North Korea in 2012.
Probably they also go through North Korea to get to South Korea.
No, they just fly directly to South Korea.
Oh, I was talking about the people that like go through the border or something.
No. North Korea doesn't. You don't go from North Korea to South Korea. You don't do that. If you get out of North Korea, you go to China. Then you usually either go from China to South Korea, or from China to Vietnam, Laos, then South Korea. Yeah, because there's an entire minefield.
Be wary of all the trans people in those areas.
Okay.
In Laos, in Taiwan, Vietnam, all that.
Yeah. Because there's miles of minefields.
That woman that you think is a woman, it's not a woman.
Dude looks like a lady.
Pretty much. So yeah. I've decided that I've been using those monsters that I bought from Extra Life and Jaeger bombs. You need to bring me some Red Bull. Still.
Listen.
You have them there. Does anybody even drink them?
Josh drinks them.
Just kind of feel that shit eating good somehow. I don't know. Custom North Korea to South Korea suicide mission. Yeah, I mean, you just walk through a demilitarized zone, right?
Ah.
Yeah. Mines everywhere.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? The North Koreans are just a freaking hair-triggered frenzy. Yeah. I mean, I told you about that North Korean dating sim game that I played, and it was actually talking about an actual event that happened, and I actually looked it up, and it was actually really interesting history behind it.
What happened again?
So basically, there was a tree in North Korean area that it was in between two UN outposts, and of course they needed a line of sight with each other to watch the demilitarized zone.
Oh, you're talking about the whole, like, the tree cutting thing where they had, like, an entire military operation for the tree.
Yes, pretty much. That was insane. For the folks at home that don't know, basically there's a tree in the middle between two outposts, and they couldn't get line of sight between them. So, the US sent a team of people just to cut down the tree, whatever, tree, cut it down, etc. Then when the North Koreans saw this, they brutally attacked back with, like, machetes, and brutally, like, decapitated and just chopped the clearing team. Just,
oh wow,
just a massacre.
I didn't remember that part of the story.
Oh, it was deadly. I mean, it was brutal. Absolutely, just dreadful stuff. And of course, the U.S. saw this far after the fact, and of course, the team didn't report in, and they went and investigated. They found the bodies. Now, North Korea says that it's a sacred tree planted by the grandfather, the founder of North Korea, and that it's sacred and such and shouldn't be cut down. And the U.S. is like, fuck your tree, and essentially devised an entire military operation to cut down a single freaking tree. They brought in platoons of, like, elite troops of South Korea and our troops. They had, like, just freaking everything. They had tanks brought in. They had helicopters flying constantly around the area. They brought in bombers, like high end, like the level of city kind of bombers. They wanted to show force that North Korea ain't gonna do shit, because if they do, they're going to die. And that's what they did. They went in there. They brought in an entire team, and North Korea is like pissed to hell. But they didn't do shit. They blew up a bridge in the demilitarized zone just to stop North Koreans. They went in there, got that tree cleared, and got out. Interesting enough, they actually made parts of that tree into a cane that was given to the general who oversaw the operation. And I think it actually ended up in the White House.
I feel like that's familiar for some reason.
Yeah. But it's such a crazy story, and I suggest you look it up if you want. I'm doing a poor retelling of it. But there's just so much that happens in there. And it's just like, gosh, it's insane.
See, I agree with you, Green, but, like, yeah. Whenever the time comes, when they launch nukes, I'm looking at that poor lamp, and it's really bad. Just like... I keep waiting for it to fall over and finally break in my room.
That day gets ever closer.
It does. It really does.
So, that's pretty much it. It's just an interesting story. Little by little, North Korea is just getting cut off from China entirely.
Yeah, it's good. Whoa, I don't care about this. Fuck off. Yes, I read about this recently. Huh?
So I'm doing this and you're doing that? Is that how we're doing things?
I don't know. I'm not. Are you just reading off of your paper?
Well, I've read the story, so I'm reading this. It's just
Should
points.
I be reading off the paper set? Because then why do I have these pulled up?
In case we need to refer to them.
Okay. Whatever. I don't know. Alrighty then. Following his thing that he has set up here. I'm going to read off the shitty teleprompter, basically. All right.
Yes, welcome to corporate news.
Syria signs Paris climate agreement and leaves U.S. isolated. Now, before I go into the story, I'm going to go ahead and say that I've already seen something like this, and I just see everybody shit-talking us so far. Because, well, we're America. And wasn't the Paris agreement something that we didn't need to get out of? It wasn't like the TFFP or the TPP. Yeah, it wasn't like...
Yeah, no, the Paris climate agreement was entirely voluntary. There was absolutely nothing that mandated us to do anything. It's literally an agreement that you'll work towards it, but you don't have to actually do anything, and there's no penalties if you don't reach it.
Yep. So as this telepromptery stuff says, as stated, Syria has signed the Paris Climate Agreement, leaving the U.S. as the only country in the world not to have signed the climate agreement. Are we really the only ones?
We are really. North Korea has signed this agreement.
Wow. That looks really bad on
North Korea, Nicaragua, Somalia.
But remember, guys, climate change doesn't exist.
It's it's a hoax made up by the government to make money for Bilderberg Group or something.
I don't know. However, I saw that recently the Trump administration had to come out and legally say or whatever that climate change exists or something like that. I saw there was a story about that somewhere because it exists. Things exist.
As much as Trump would like to deny them, that doesn't deny reality.
I don't know if I'm having an aneurysm or not. If I just kind of start seizing, I should probably call an ambulance. Anyway.
Well, I have my phone here. It's on speed dial.
There you go. Who the hell puts 911 on speed dial? Is it automatic?
I mean, if you dial 911, your phone will call 911.
No, but you said speed dial. I was like, huh?
No,
speed dial is you hold the button.
Dial.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, why do you have it on speed dial? That's probably a good idea.
I never actually set up speed dial on my phone.
I think there's defaults on a lot of them. Well, I don't know about the Pixel, but my AT&T phones have default speed dial. You hold a button and then it'll automatically call voicemail, call AT&T, call. I think 911 is one of them automatically. Stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yep. Anyway, the U.S. is the only country to renege on the agreement. I love your use. Mm-hmm. Is that how you spell renege?
Yep.
Interesting. Under the UN rules, the U.S. must remain in the agreement until November 4th, 2020, the day after the next presidential election.
That's so funny. When that happens, we're going to get in a new president, probably, because I don't think Trump's going to go for 8 years. And then...
if he does, I will be extremely sad.
It's just going to be right after the new president gets elected. Trump's like, we're gone. And the new president's going to come in on January 1st and be like, we're back in. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. Climate change still doesn't exist. I'm the best president. We're going to have the best people. This time there was no Russian collusion at all this time. As he's giving fucking Putin a handy over here in the corner of the screen. Isn't that be great? As Vadka says, by default it's on all U.S. phones. Speed dial. Interesting. The U.S., the world's largest economy and second biggest emitter of greenhouse gases after China, was now isolated on the world stage, which we've been on doing that a bunch of times, to be honest. But now we did it in a stupid way. Well, we have Trump, so there you go. Trump has been excluded from the invitation to more than 100 world leaders to meet in Paris for a climate conference next month, in line with the Paris Agreement. The Paris pledges are not in themselves enough to satisfy the 2C limit. 2C? 2C! Anyway.
Which is basically the limit that we have to hit in order to prevent catastrophic global climate change destruction.
Yeah, and if left unchanged, would lead to a 3C rise in temperatures. According to studies, a 3C rise would mean far higher sea level rises, heat waves, and droughts, afflicting large swaths of the globe and making agriculture impossible in those areas, while devastating floods would increase in other areas.
Yeah, so basically what happened to us after Harvey would be twice as bad. Basically our town probably would have flooded.
Sweet. I mean, I really wanted the town to flood. As much as I would have, missed some of my things, I honestly would have rather had the town flood than anything. I don't know. It tells you a lot about how much I care about this place. Even though this is my hometown. It needs to all be destroyed and then rebuilt better, to be completely honest.
Yeah, but I doubt there'd be any more investments in this town.
Huh? What? I mean, if everything gets rebuilt from zero, then it might bring stuff.
I suppose.
I don't know. Anyway, even the Vatican is coming out very strongly in support of the science of climate change, is becoming a major advocate for the need to address human-caused climate change, as most devastating effects will affect the poorest people in the world. Yes. Also, the Vatican's, getting more progressive with the, dude bro.
In some areas.
Yeah. I mean,
There's
no
still,
little Timmy attached to your crotch. Progress.
I mean, they're still against condoms and birth control and such.
Well, that's because it's part of the religion, at its core, for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the way Hispanic people procreate? Have you seen that? How many kids did your sister have? 1, right?
2.
Exactly. I'm just kidding.
I mean, my uncle has 7 kids.
God damn.
Yeah.
How can you even afford to have that many kids at this point?
Well, 4 of them are out of the house.
Oh, okay.
One of them...
But I mean, at this point, I couldn't even imagine having 4 fucking kids right now in the way the economy works at the moment. I couldn't imagine being able to afford to exist without, welfare, or without WIC, or without something. Jesus Christ.
I don't know how they manage it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'd have to make, triple, 6 figures, and then my wife has to make 6 figures, and then, maybe we're paying for our house, our cars, and all of our kids at the same time, and we're scraping by.
Well, my cousins, they had to work, and they had to contribute to the household.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of my cousins, they pay for, utilities, another one, they pay for the cell bill.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing.
But, I'm talking about, if I had kids now, and,
yeah.
they can't start contributing to the house until they're, technically until they're 16, but you can, get little fucking Timmy or Jimmy running around mowing people's yards for $20. $20 is $20, man. I mean, yeah. Anyway, alright, there we go. Here we go.
So, leading on to North Korean wastelands. So, North Korean nuclear tests are leading to deformed babies and turning the province into a wasteland.
North Korea is turning into Fallout.
Yes.
Glorious.
The North Korean tests have had a devastating effect on the land and people that inhabit the Kilju area that the test is conducted in. Defectors from the area are reporting that more than 80% of trees have died, and after the latest round of nuclear weapons tests, that the underground wells have run dry. Hospitals in the area are seeing a rise in babies with deformities. An interesting quote here from some of the defectors, that only family members of soldiers were evacuated to underground shelters. They said ordinary people were completely unaware of the test.
But if the explosive tests are going on underground, I thought most of them are underground.
I believe so, yeah.
So it's why would you send them underground? How would an underground test affect people above it?
Well, because it's the radiation that's killing the trees. It's destroying the whales. It's probably making large fissures in the ground.
It's probably irradiating groundwater.
Irradiating the groundwater, probably cracking the foundation around it, probably killing off any aquifers or whatever in the area. Driving up the whales.
So basically, they're going to kill themselves.
Well, that particular area.
Mm-hmm.
And the people don't have any options. Because officials are reporting that attempts to contain leaks from the area by arresting anyone caught aboard trains from Kilju with samples of soil, water, or leaves, and sending them to prison camps.
Damn, that's pretty hardcore.
So North Korea is just going out there and just stopping it all. Nothing's getting out of there, pretty much. Residents from the Kilju region have been banned from making hospital appointments in Pyongyang since the most recent nuclear test.
Wow.
So North Korea is really cracking down. They don't want anybody or anything getting out of here.
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Gotta get that parkour. Anyway. Alright. It's funny because I can see where you're clicking because of the fucking doodle box. Next up we have Philippines. Duterte tells Trump to lay off human rights when we meet. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte said on Wednesday he would, goddammit, stop doing that. He would tell U.S. President Donald Trump to lay off if he raises the issue of human rights when they meet. Trump will attend the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Da Nang, Vietnam, which we just kind of spoke about. Interesting.
No, we spoke about China.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Dong.
Oh, Dan Dong. Interesting. Da Nang and Dan Dong.
Yeah.
Dingle Dong. Fucking Wong. I don't know. Make a state visit to Hanoi. Ooh,
such and such Wasana-san.
Yeah. God damn it. Chen Wasana-san. And then his trip with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit in Manila. You want to ask questions. I'll give you an answer. Lay off. That is not your business. That is my business. I take care of my country, and I will nurture my country to health. Duarte told him.
Yes. Great Philippines President Duarte.
The Death Squad man. The cool biker dude. Honestly, he's pretty badass.
He was admitted to killing people in a death squad, or mayor of a town in the Philippines, and has basically risen to the presidency. They're basically saying he'll kill anybody who does drugs.
I should ask some Filipino people how they think. As far as I know, I think I asked like a couple of my Filipino friends, and they're like, they think he's pretty decent.
Well,
some of them are like, he's a madman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like anywhere. It's like Trump. Some people love Trump.
Yeah, but Trump isn't going out there and killing people, or was a part of a death squad where he killed people. He was just a rich billionaire who had a string of failed reality shows.
And a string of failed businesses.
Yes.
And just a string of failures in general. However, he still seems to have a ton of money, even though he's failed many times.
Well, he's actually in quite a lot of debt.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. To the tune of hundreds of millions. Interesting. They actually said that if you took all the money his father gave him initially, just put it in the S&P 500, and just left it, he would have the same amount of money he had today. He literally did no better than what the market would have done naturally. Which is a very bad thing as a businessman.
Is it?
Yes. You want to do better than the market.
I mean, if you end up in the same spot you would have been, you're not really losing out too much.
No, but you didn't do anything, you know?
I mean, at least he tried.
And failed. Multiple times.
But still, that's a part of doing any business, a part of doing anything.
But he could have done nothing and still would have had the same amount of money.
I know, but like I said, at least he got out there and tried. I can't just sit back and do nothing. I figure a lot of people can't just do nothing.
Yeah, well, a lot of us don't have 100 billionaires for fathers.
I mean, that's true, too. I think if I had that much money, I would... No, I wouldn't.
I would just be like, and I'm just going to live off the interest.
I would be like, there's my car, there's my house, there's my video games. That's it. I wouldn't do anything. I'd stream. I'd be a rich billionaire streamer, that's it.
You just have a stream house and you just subsidize streamers.
Oh, you know what I could do? Let me step that real quick. If I had that much money, I'd buy an esports team, actually. I couldn't buy into the American esports team because they usually suck. Like, Cloud9 and stuff's good for some games, but I gotta win the League of Legends, the League of Legends tournament, so I gotta go buy, like, a Chinese team or something. They're the only people that win. The fucking Taiwanese, the Koreans, and the Chinese are the only people that win. Because it's the Asians, man. The computational ability of an Asian is, like, ridiculous. It's funny. It sounds terribly racist, but it's 100% true. Any sort of RTS or anything like that sort of thing that requires, like, thinking and knowing things, like...
So Americans can't think and know things?
Not off the top of their head at the speed of an Asian man. They really can't. They're not human calculators. Asians are human calculators from birth. They come out of the womb and they tell you just how much money you're going to make in whatever business you're doing. All right, son. How much money is this? Oh,
you doctor yet?
It's about $350. You doctor yet? Comes out the womb with the doctorate. Hands it over. Ah, good stuff. Did you all A's? You have 1 B? I beat you when you get 1.
You get A? Why not A+? Not good enough.
Yeah, not good enough. Be like Trooper. The white man, the Asian man stuck in a white man's body. Anyway, more than 3,900 Filipinos have been killed in what the police call self-defense after armed suspects resisted arrest in Duarte's war on drugs. Critics dispute that and say executions are taking place with zero accountability.
As we've covered in the past about these exact killings, which basically, it's all, the police are all like, it's defensive killings when they're straight up executing people, mafia style.
Execute. Trump, who has been criticized at home for neglecting rights issues and dealings abroad, in May praised Duarte for doing an unbelievable job on the drug problem. Great. Sounds great. All right.
So Trump is like, yeah, killing people. That sounds great.
He's like, man, I would kill people if it wasn't frowned upon in my culture.
How long have we been going for?
30 minutes.
Good time. I mean, we just covered all of U.S. news. Or world news.
Yep. I'm on USA News.
Like I said, this format's giving us, the flexibility to cover
all I have
more.
to do is read off this, and then that's it. I'll just speed read through all of this.
I mean, we're talking in between the points.
I'll just speed read through all of this. While I continue to drink Jaeger, and...
The point of this is to open up points of discussion. Yeah. To get some insight and add some depth to the story.
Depth. Variations. Degrees.
Oh, shit, no.
Rochambeau.
So,
Scissors, piece of paper, bitch.
Black cadet admits to writing racial slurs outside Air Force Academy dorm room. One of the Black Air Force Academy cadets who claimed he was targeted by racial slurs scrawled outside his dorm room actually wrote the hateful messages himself.
Oh, well.
School officials said this week.
So it sounds like somebody was trying to gain popularity. Either that or it was the cover-up. One of the two.
Well, no, it was definitely to gain, victim points.
You think this is a game?
You want to play a game?
10 more shots.
Shots.
Well, I opened this up. Also, I have this Jaeger. I don't recommend it.
Jaeger and Coke go together?
That's up to you. Do you like Jaeger normally straight?
I mean, I like Jaeger bombs. And I mean, Red Bulls essentially have the taste of guanine and taurine. Nah, I have to drive. Yeah. So, Lieutenant J. Silveria, whose passionate message to cadets at the Air Force Academy's preparatory school in Colorado went viral after 5 black cadets found the words "Go home," N-word.
Go home, N-word.
And an accompanying racial slurs outside their dorm rooms in September. And here's where we will transition to a video. But Harpy's currently getting alcohol, so this will take a moment.
You want some of this?
No.
Well, I tried.
Yes, you did. It's kind of warm in here.
Just for cooling it.
Mm.
And then, probably, I want to say it's probably 60 something in here.
I don't know. I'm always very warm.
It is 70 actually. So yeah, because it's cool. It's warm around here, around both of us, because of computers, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. I'm always
So we're transferring the video here.
Yep. Let's pull up the story.
Black cadet, this one. All right. But is this video? Where's the
I think
video?
it's down there.
That
Yes.
one. Okay. And then we're gonna screen change. Look at that. We're beautiful.
If you're outraged by those words, then you're in the right place. That kind of behavior has no place at the prep school, it has no place at USAFA, and it has no place in the United States Air Force. You should be outraged not only as an airman, but as a human being. And I'll tell you that the appropriate response for horrible language and horrible ideas, the appropriate response is a better idea. So that's why I'm here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That seems really cool.
Yeah, no, it was very, very interesting to see that.
Oh,
Oh my.
I don't know.
Let's continue this. Oh, shit. That. Yeah.
pretty funny.
He's actually really loud above.
Yep.
Do we actually have any mic audio?
Yeah, we have mic audio. See?
Okay, I'm just saying.
That's interesting.
God damn. Okay.
Wow, that was interesting. It's like, let's watch some cool shit. Yeah!
Yeah, so basically that little speech he had went quite viral. He even told the cadets to pull out their cell phones and record this, so that way they would always remember it. So it was pretty
Good
interesting.
shit, that was a 3-star, general, I think?
Was it?
He had 3 stars on his
No,
neck.
it says he's a lieutenant general.
Oh, well, that would be 3 stars then, because a general is 4, I think. So, makes sense. Good shit. Good story.
Yep. The cadet responsible for the racial slurs is no longer attending the academy. It's not known whether the cadet was expelled or withdrew. It's pretty interesting to see. I mean, what was he trying to get? There's no real clear motive. Nobody really quite knows what's going on.
Maybe he was a part of the giant SJW army.
Some sources have stated that he scrawled a message on the whiteboard outside of his dorm room in a misguided attempt to get out of unspecified consequences for unrelated misconduct at the prep school.
Oh, that's possible, yeah.
I suppose so. And of course he did to 5 other people that were 4 other people that were his friends in an attempt to make it look like...
Make it look like it wasn't just him, whatever.
Yeah, because if other people were victims as well, you can throw attention on yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, carrying on. I assume that's Massachusetts.
Yes, it is.
Massachusetts trooper sues police leaders after he was told to alter arrest report of judge's daughter. Ooh, scandalous. This is the kind of stuff I really like to see. Massachusetts trial court officials and state police are defending their actions after a trooper filed suit alleging that top police commanders disciplined him and forced him to revise an arrest report for a judge's daughter. Damn. Trooper Ryan Scuvier? Is he fucking French? I don't know. Weird.
Sevior?
Sevior? I don't know.
That's super French. I'm gonna
Stated that Bibod told officers she got drugs in exchange for sex, and she offered Sevier sex in exchange for leniency. Wow. The lawsuit alleges that a trooper came to Sevier's house and took him to meet top police officials. There, Sevier says he was told to falsify records and remove the references to sex and Bibod's father so as not to embarrass the judge. Wow. Yeah. State police admitted to asking Sevier to remove details deemed not relevant in the case. So basically they admitted to tell him that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty bad. Bibod is being charged operating under the influence of drugs, operating under the influence of liquor, negligent operation of a motor vehicle, and 2 other motor vehicle offenses.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's relevant to the charges. Because, I mean, she got drugs. She told officers she got drugs in exchange for sex. And she offered
the other thing that she should have got for an offense is fucking bribery of a police officer or whatever.
Bribery of a state trooper definitely should have been on there as well. Because clearly that's what she was doing when she offered Sevier sex in exchange for leniency, which is something to bribe a state official.
Yep.
So there should be more charges. But it's interesting to see that
it's all about
a trooper's actually defending law and reason against his superiors. Now it remains to be seen who's actually correct. This is a lawsuit by the trooper stating these things. The governor has, of course, stated that he is investigating all possibilities and is quite concerned that this is happening. They actually moved the charges from the judge's county. Her father recused himself, and they moved it to a different county under a different judge.
That's good. That's good that at least the father did that.
Yes, to try and prevent any sense of what's the word?
The word for it is I can't remember. But the whole family ties to anything.
Yeah. But
favoritism,
not
whatever.
Nepotism.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be pretty interesting to see. I mean, it's a lawsuit, so we'll see how it works out. Because especially considering that top state officials told him to remove details and that they've admitted it because they deem the details not relevant. I deem the details relevant. The state prosecutor should be, or the attorney,
State Attorney General.
Yeah, well, whoever's prosecuting this case should be adding more charges.
Probably.
I also kind of wonder if there's any, like, video evidence of it. If there's any, like, body cams and such.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
But
interesting
at this point, with these people already asking this is the point where the body cam footage would mysteriously disappear. Kind of like the voter machine thing.
Yeah, just like all those servers that just got deleted. And the backups also got deleted.
Yeah, and the backups miraculously around the same time the next investigation got deleted. And we're just like, that doesn't happen.
No amount of chicanery in the world leads to that.
If anybody ever did anything like that dodgy under me, I would say a personal backup and be like, pull out my whistle, start blowing it. And be like,
and you're fired.
And you're fired. And now you're sued for retaliation. And now, wait, what was it? Oh, it was a voter. It was a Texas state. It wasn't Texas. It was a state agency.
Indiana?
Yeah. But it's just like, state government, I'm suing you. Give me your money.
Yeah. I mean, do they think they're going to get away with it? The FBI was already investigating them. And like the day before it went public, they deleted everything.
Redacted.
Yeah.
So what is up with the new redacted means anyway? Like, why is it a thing right now?
It's got me. Is it about JFK or something?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. I'll just see like a lot of redacted memes. It's like 2015, 2016, 2017, and like that's 2017. It's like redacted and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just like, wow. Anyway, whatever.
I don't know. Carrying on. So, Mariah Carey has been accused of sexual harassment.
Well then.
Yes.
I mean, who wouldn't just let Mariah Carey sexually harass them?
I guess business to them.
Huh?
I mean, it's sexual harassment, so it's unwanted. That's,
Yeah, I know, but that's why I'm like, who wouldn't want Mariah Carey to, like, say sexually suggestive things to them?
It's more than sexually suggestive. As we covered.
Well, sexual harassment, like I said, it could be anything.
It could be anything, yes.
It could be like a sexual joke made around you about somebody and stuff like that. So, as I'm saying, it could be slightly suggestive and somebody can get really bad and claim sexual harassment.
So, Mariah Carey, as I said, is being accused of sexual harassment by the former head of her security team, allegedly referred to her former head of security as a Nazi, a skinhead, a Ku Klux Klan member, and a white supremacist.
Oh, so that's probably why he's butthurt then at this point. This might be like a...
Well, yes,
this might be a butthurt story.
Me is calling me a fucking Nazi. And
But the question is he though? That's the real question you gotta ask here. Is he though? Is this just like a claim to fame right now because of all these other things happening in Hollywood? I mean, because if she called him a Nazi, a skinhead, and all these other things, like, would she have actually sexually harassed him?
Yes. So do reports. So Michael Enelo, former head of security, states that Mariah had stiffed his company of more than $200,000 and a promise to continue the contract for 2 more years, which would have been valued at about $500,000. Mariah humiliated him and his colleagues by referring to them as members of the hate groups and claims that Mariah wanted to be surrounded by black guys, not white people. So, that's interesting. This is the head of security saying this. Mariah asked him, and this is where the sexual harassment comes into play. Mariah asked him to come to her room to move some luggage. When he got there, she was allegedly wearing see-through negligee that was open. When he attempted to leave the room, she forced him to stay and move the luggage before she allowed him to leave. And that's part of what he's saying is the sexual harassment side of it. Currently, the suit's on hold while the two parties' lawyers come to an agreement. Supposedly, Mariah's lawyers have agreed to pay some of the money owed, but not all of it.
Well, yeah, because it's a general lawyer thing anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they're going to win because clearly she contracted their services, at least on that front, she contracted their services for a particular period of time, and she broke contract and didn't pay them for the full time they were.
Yeah, no, if they didn't do that, the sexual harassment thing is kind of like,
I mean, it certainly is sexual harassment.
Well, I don't know. Like, you're paid for security just because she's wearing, not kosher clothes. I'm sure that tons of security advisors have to deal with stuff like that.
I'm sure plenty of security will see their clients in a variety of states.
In compromising positions.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, that's why I don't necessarily agree with that part.
But I mean...
But the whole contract thing, oh no, most definitely should get his fucking money for that. I just don't think it's a sexual harassment type deal. Even though she was, in a whatever, probably night clothes. What the fuck is the negligee anyway? So
it's like lingerie, but I mean it's see-through.
Why wouldn't they just say lingerie?
Because negligee sounds fancy.
Well, lingerie sounds pretty fancy already anyway. Aren't they all French words anyway?
Yeah, well, Google it then.
As I can see Kenneth copy and pasting.
Actually, I don't even have to because you can do definitions within the doc.
A woman's light dressing gown typically made of filmy?
Yeah, film.
Filmy soft fabric. So,
well, she said see-through,
so it's the same thing as lingerie, basically.
Well, maybe it refers to a different area because a negligee refers to a very specific article of clothing, which is a dress that's flimsy and see-through. Whereas the lingerie, which refers to like a bra or panties that are sexually suggestive, or other articles of clothing. So.
Maid outfits. That's all I need.
But it's interesting. I mean, with all this, it's all these different Hollywood sexual abuse stories that are coming to light.
We're about to cover another one right after that.
Indeed. Let's do it.
Charlie Sheen's got a weenie that he'd like to show. Oh! Anyway, so as I roll that into the next bit, Charlie Sheen absolutely denies that the Sheen man, he's winning there and he's winning there, he's by winning, that he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old Corey Haim, I assume.
I think it's Haim.
Haim, whatever. In our continuing coverage following sex scandals sweeping through the halls of the movie industry, it has come to light that accusations against Charlie Sheen, he allegedly raped Corey Haim, whatever, he Lytle as a child in 1986 on a set of Film Lucas.
Yeah, so, like I said, as a continuing coverage, because it just keeps coming to light. Everybody in Hollywood is fucking kids, fucking people, touching people
everybody already knew
inappropriately.
Charlie Sheen, it's got a weenie that he likes to show. He was already, it's come out before, and he's
He's also HIV positive.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's stated in this article. I mean, whatever that adds.
That he possibly gave the child HIV? I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't think he had HIV then.
I think he had HIV, more recently over the last few years, to be honest.
Because this was.
But I mean, Charlie Sheen was fucking cocaine.
When Charlie Sheen was 19.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen is cocaine-fueled fun times. But, my whole biggest deal about all these claims is that there's no evidence at this point for any of these things, for the most part. Unless, it's, that one dude who had, tons of pictures and shit and stuff like that. Unless people have pictures of all these people from whenever they were younger or something like that. They took pictures nude with people or, they did something. They filmed it, something, fucked up.
Yeah, I mean...
You can't... There's no evidence to support anything at this point.
No, I mean, there's no evidence, there's no statute of limitations.
So what I have to say is that if anybody ever gets sexually assaulted, raped, or whatever, the first thing you should do is call the police, go to the police, get your medical examination, get all that shit done as soon as possible.
Yes.
Because, I think that's sort of,
that's the best thing you can do.
Well, no, the DNA information, in sperm and stuff only lasts for about a week, I think. I think that's what it is. Signs of rape only exist for about a week or something like that.
The mental trauma, of course, stays.
Yes. But, a lot of people are afraid or, they're what is it? They're, I guess, ashamed of it? I think is one of the biggest deals. But it's the biggest thing I have to tell everyone, there's nothing to be ashamed of because, contrary to popular belief, if you're raped, sometimes, depending on the certain people, it might be your fault, depending on some things. It's hard to say it's not your fault all the time. Because sometimes there's things, and sometimes the way people present themselves and do things, and the way they say things.
Nobody asks to be raped.
Well, that's incorrect too.
Well,
some people ask to be raped legitimately because they have that fantasy. That's a large
well, that's different
fantasy.
because that's acting. That's a
I know,
fantasy.
but that's still a big deal. And
I mean, that is women's number one fetish or something is rape.
yeah,
Don't quite
but the
understand
other thing I'm saying is like, for instance, some two people will like go into the same room. They'll both get naked. They'll be doing foreplay and stuff, and then like she doesn't want to, but she doesn't like stop it, and then she comes out to say she's raped later. Something like that.
Yeah, because
That's one of those things that I'm saying. It's like it's hard.
Yeah, because a lot of times, women will actually say it. They play hard to get, so they say no. They don't actually mean it.
It's the hard thing for men, and this is like one of my biggest deals as somebody that's fairly sexually active with women. Like I have to make people tell me what they want. So I mean, like that's one of the hardest things about this. That and like again, the signs of these sort of things don't last for very long. The only time I could say like rape is not like legitimate rape is like if you're just picked up on the side of the street and like legitimately raped or something like that, or somebody approaches you from out of nowhere.
Don't say legitimate rape.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard.
You're gonna end up like that one
categorize it.
politician who's just like a legitimate rape.
Well, I mean, like that's what I would classify as legitimate, undeniable.
I mean, just call
whatever.
it rape. Just don't put legitimate. It makes it sound bad.
I mean, I don't really care. You know me. I don't care how
I
bad
know.
it sounds. So this is just what I'm saying. As somebody, it's hard to prove and it's hard to say otherwise.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with all of these. There obviously is no evidence. It's a lot of people's testimony, or it's a lot of people assuming. I mean, it's always going to be assumed in Hollywood that there's been the casting couch, that, sex is how you get your way anywhere.
And
if
some
you're
of
a
that stuff
child, you're most likely going to be diddled by somebody.
Diddled. Okay, but see, this kind of stuff happens everywhere in any field. Like, honestly,
I don't think any film.
almost any field. If you're willing
Like
to
the
suck some
entertainment
dick,
industry.
no. If you're willing to suck some dick, like even in an office environment, that could get you somewhere. Legitimately, sex can get you somewhere. Either you're a man or a woman. For either side, you can play both sides of the fence even if you want to. I don't know. It's a possibility.
Depending on the people in charge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Depending on the people.
I'm not.
in charge.
I mean, it's not a good thing.
No.
And I mean, nobody should be expected to have sex with their boss just to get up in the world.
No, you shouldn't be expected to do anything. Honestly, a lot of the ways people get up in the world right now currently is by stepping on other people.
Yeah.
I really wish, like, you could get up in the world just by being good at what you do. Like, some people are. Sometimes that happens. That's good. But a lot of times it's like that one dick that...
It's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, some of the times it's that one dick that literally can't do their job, but somehow manages to get up and, like, get to the top. And you just wonder, sitting there, like, I've been doing this job for 15 plus years. All I've been getting this shat on. It's like, why though?
Politics.
Politics, and because you accept the way you are, or accept, what goes on around you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta take a stand for what you believe in.
Yeah.
That's how I lost my job.
Indeed it is.
Anyway. What? I was just checking the phone. I mean, that was. Oh. Damn it. I see that. Yes, thank you, Kevin. Haim told me that he had sex with Sheen when they filmed Lucas. Brassica told the outlet that Haim, who passed away at the age of 38 in 2010, he told me they smoked pot and had sex. He said they had anal sex. Haim said after it happened, Sheen became very cold and rejected him. When Corey wanted to fool around again, Charlie was not interested. So
basically it was a one and done kind of thing for Charlie.
Yeah, but basically it seems like they had an interest thing going on.
Well, Haim was 13.
Yes, I know, I get that. But
And Charlie Sheen was 20. Or 19. One of those.
I know. But I mean, it seemed like he seemed
But you also got to see,
interested.
the power play dynamics. You have a very young, impressionable kid who's working with a very popular actor at the time. And, kids look up to people like that. They see somebody older than them who's, been in the business. And, they idolize that person.
Mm-hmm.
And it engenders a certain amount of, control, I suppose. it makes them more malleable to suggestions from this person.
But your notes here make it seem like that's not anything that went on. And the quotes say specifically that Corey was into it.
No, I mean, he didn't say he was into it, but also it's a part of that idolization,
When Corey wanted to fool around again,
yes.
Charlie was not interested.
It was a part of
Corey wanted to do it again.
Because he idolized him. Because he was a young, impressionable child actor. Yes.
How can you say that's why? You're not him.
No, he's dead.
I know,
but
exactly.
I'm speculating. That's all we can do. He's a dead man.
Which is why I'm going to counter-speculate that he enjoyed it. There's sometimes young people like to do these sort of things.
He could have enjoyed it, sure. I'm not saying he didn't. But I'm just saying he's a young 13-year-old child actor, too young to consent, who was having sex with an adult at the time.
Yep.
Clearly, Charlie Sheen should have just stayed the fuck away. Been proper. Waited 5 years and then had followed the funny once.
What's the legal age in Cali?
17?
Is it 17? Texas is 17, I know, but...
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, Texas 17 is legal age of consent.
Who knows what it was in the 80s?
That's a good point.
But
I mean,
it was still clearly illegal.
I suppose so.
But like I said, when people, especially when children idolize people, they're blind to their faults. They want to get closer to that person. They want to get, to know them, be more like them. It's a problem.
I guess. I don't know. Coming from, I guess,
your
the way I think.
Your broken childhood.
I was like, my childhood, no, it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
So, I can't come, that's why from my side of the, spectrum, I'd say, it's just like, no, not really.
Well, it's because you don't have idols.
I made Master Chief's my idol, that's about it. And I do, I hold a lot of, so this is funny, fictional character's my idol, but to the point where, I actually honestly got a lot of my beliefs and a lot of my honor system from Master Chief. It sounds stupid to say, but yeah, the whole the way Cortana told him in the first day, don't make a girl a promise you can't keep. I don't make women promises that I can't keep. It's weird to say it, but it's true. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And like I said, coming from a normal person who can empathize and understand
so what I'm hearing is Kenneth was a very impressionable child. I've always been free thinking for a really long time though, so I don't know. That's the difference in upbringing and stuff too.
Yeah,
I had to think for myself, so I had no other choice.
I was skeptical and rational, but I was a kid. I'm still hold some naivety in the world, though.
Yes, you are. I could give you that much for sure. Does John say the same thing too?
Of course.
Of course he does. Yeah, exactly.
He's a fucking cynical asshole like you. He reacts to situations just like you would.
Exactly. I told you.
You're just going to end up like John.
I don't know. I'm not going to go to that level of ridiculousness. I feel like I've already surpassed him in a lot of things. He seems very naive in some things that I don't understand how.
Like what?
Like the whole Friends thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that whole thing. I don't understand how somebody that's supposedly that cynical and supposedly that, sees writing on the wall doesn't understand that. That was, an immediate thing. It took me zero time.
Imagine. He's also an older person.
Maybe that was the deal, is because, when we got in, we were instantly kind of treated like shit by both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And, she had me before. She didn't really treat me too bad. She just was, kind of surprised. But, probably when we came in and we were like, guys, this isn't how you run things, they immediately were like, no. But he says the same things, too. That's not how you're supposed to run things. So maybe just because he's older, he gets a pass. But then Andrew was older, and he didn't get a pass either. Andrew was about as old as this guy, isn't he? Because Andrew's 36.
Oh, yeah.
And he's 8?
No, he's 36, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He acts like a freaking 50-year-old.
He also looks much older, though. So
Andrew looks like...
Andrew looks like he's still in his 20s almost, to be honest.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
I'd say 32.
Yeah. But see, Andrew's still a reasonable person. He just doesn't put up... He's like me. Andrew really didn't put up with people's shit. He was like, I fucking hate this. I loved Andrew before that. He's like, dude, fuck these people.
I don't know, I wish he didn't go to Dow, but fuck, anybody would. For the money he's making.
I haven't even kept up with them. Oh yeah, didn't I say I wanted to try to get everyone together tomorrow? It might be a bit too late for that. I forgot. Well, I remembered about it, but then my sleep schedule's so weird. I go to bed at 10 o'clock in the morning now, so I'm just like, it's daylight out.
God damn it, man.
I can't help it. That 24-hour stream screwed me up, and then I kept getting woke up every 4 hours after that. I was like, I hate my life every single day. People would come in.
Does it teach you not to do 24-hour streams?
No, I'm still going to do it, but it was for a good cause. We raised money. Our team did good. There's too much green pixels. I don't know. Not 100%.
I mean, I guess the shadow?
Yeah, probably talking about the shadows and stuff. It is what it is.
Yeah, we really can't do much, unfortunately. We don't have the lighting technology to do it.
I didn't drink the rest of this Jaeger. Bottoms up. How you doing, buddy? It's been forever. Dissolve your guild and join the better guild. Anyway. So carry on. This is also a continuing media campaign. The child store Corey Feldman is continuing.
Yeah,
Kenneth, that was very repetitive.
Yeah,
I forget I have to check your grammar sometimes. That was just beautiful.
Should have just been continuing. This is also continuing the media campaign of child star Corey Feldman.
Yeah, that's okay. This is the first, out of all the things that you put down, this is the first fuck up, which is actually really good for you, to be honest.
Well, a lot of it was taken from articles, and some of it was edited here and there.
Anyway, Corey Feldman, a close friend to Hein, said that Hein confided in Feldman that he has sex with a person on the set of Lucas, but Hein didn't state who. Spokesperson for Sheen states he absolutely denies the claim. Feldman is continuing his media tour to promote his crowdfunding to fund his tell-all documentary about his life and the trauma suffered by other child star in the 80s, and that continued into today. Alright, so it was at this point that it was probably 12 o'clock last night that Kenneth started dying.
Yes.
That's just where it is, because it's like...
It's like words together. Yeah, good enough.
What? And we look over each other's shoulders. What? I just look at him. I don't know. I have no idea. Whatever.
Something,
yeah. Well, I mean, he looks over at my screen, I guess. That's what he's doing. I don't know. I mean, he looks over here. There's a second screen over here for chat.
Yeah, so I have to look across because chat's over there.
Yeah. So. And then, I have a screen here with the information I'm reading.
And I have my screen here with my information.
And I just look over here to drink alcohol and regular drink.
No, you can't drink alcohol on Twitch.
Oh, by the way, apparently somebody was telling me and the terms of service was actually changed, and that you could legally smoke marijuana in states that you could smoke marijuana in that were legal.
That's still stupid.
Sense. Well, no. It makes sense that you could smoke marijuana on stream in states as long as it's legal. Because, a lot of people were afraid that, you couldn't smoke if it was legal, that you'd still get banned on Twitch. I don't know. Just that one dude came in here the other day and was like, technically it's against my contract with Twitch to be dual streaming or whatever. But, technically, as I read the clause, I need to go back and reread it, that says nothing that's streamed on Twitch can be exported or can be shared or be seen on another media source within 24 hours. But if it's streamed to both locations at the same time,
yeah, you're not sharing, you're not exporting.
Technically, I'm not doing anything. No. Technically, they're both,
I mean, you're making original content for Mixer, and you're making original content for Twitch at the same time, but it's both OC.
Yeah, it's both literally the same content at the same time. Yeah, Josh OD does what? See chat. Mix it. The fuck? Josh OD does what? Does he fucking dual stream too, or what? What's going on here?
I assume it's dual stream.
Yeah. Well, he's a partner though, which would be they'd be even more stringent on him because he gets a shit ton of views.
Or maybe they'd be like, "Look, you won't
mix the drinks. This is already a mixed drink. This is like a Jaeger bomb already, and this is just Big Red because Big Red is the best. Oh no, maybe he's saying Josh OG smokes on the stream. Maybe that's what he was saying. But yeah, we have to chat up here. Or up there, yeah. Try to forget where the... so just look at the camera in the middle. Put the pig red in vodka. Big. See, I'd have to have good vodka. I have Grey Goose. Wait, Bertanian, you're young. You're not even 21. Stop talking about alcohol. Go away. Are you even out of high school? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, carry on.
So,
Your turn.
Shakira. This is my story.
Yeah, no.
That's
why I was like, Shakira.
Shakira.
What does Shakira sing? She starts singing like some of the old songs.
I mean, you want to pull up some Shakira?
No. I mean, I was like, she's singing some like reggae style stuff, and then I realized it's an Univision article.
Yes, it is.
So there you go.
Shakira transferred her musical rights to Malta,
Really?
valued at $35 million.
That's really cheap.
The rights, or how much money that's worth?
How much money that's worth?
I guess so. The singer appears as a Bahama tax resident, and her attorney upholds the transparency of the legal mechanism. She's holding over $35 million stored in Bahama for tax purposes. She's a citizen. She has residence there in the Bahamas. While Shakira lives in Barcelona, the lawyer justified her residence in the tax haven, explaining that an international artist, she resides at different locations throughout her professional career, and in every case has fully met the laws of all the jurisdictions where she resides. This came to light as part of the Paradise Papers, a treasure trove of 13.4 million documents exposing how the top 1% have been storing money in offshore companies and trusts around the world.
Which anybody that knows anything about anything knows that's how that works.
Yes.
You don't store your money in like America, which is taxable, or any other place that's taxed very well. You store them in other places that basically aren't touched and can't be touched by your home government.
Basically,
like
you do what Shakira did. You make a shell company, you transfer your property rights to it, you store your money there, then you get paid out of that tax-free.
Yep, basically.
You know?
And then you also donate a large amount of money to charities to get more back on your taxes and things too, or to keep from paying taxes. Like that's what you do as a company. And that's what my old company did, which was actually kind of good. So instead of throwing away stuff, calendars, like so, remember I told you right across our docking bays was a fucking Goodwill warehouse and sorting facility. All we did was go, here's this pallet of shit, take it, and like they recycle what's recyclable, they sell what's sellable, and that's it. And like. It seems, a large part of it was because money, because I knew that the dude had a tour on the yarmulke. But realistically, it's still kind of good though, because they would just throw it all away. Like they're like, we're gonna throw all this shit away. Like they tell us too as workers that we can go over there and take whatever the hell we want. They also do a thing where the local teachers, there's like a local teacher thing. They give a shit ton to teachers. Like teachers get to come through and grab whatever they want for their classrooms. And then, like, they also donate all the extra books from the Kirkus Media stuff to the Texas Children's Library. Like, they do a lot of good donations, and, like, I think a lot of it's, part of it's to try to make it to where they, increase profit margins and increase their money or whatever because of taxes. But, like, other companies would just throw it away and not even deal with it. So
it increases notoriety.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's also the leader of the Texas Democratic Political Party or something like that, for the Jewish Texas Democratic Political Party, which I found to be interesting. I looked him up recently and realized he's the head of a lot of things. And this was in an effect, in an attempt to tell my family that just because there was a state representative going to the Aggies game doesn't mean that he's like a god among gods, untouchable person. I was like, these are regular people. A lot of times they don't really care too much sometimes.
I don't know.
And he's just going out and enjoying a football game, I don't think he's there trying to push a political agenda because it didn't seem that way. Mike just got free tickets though from friends because of Aggie things. Hashtag Aggie things.
Yeah, but this is actually really interesting because this is gonna tear down some people hard. Because this, along with the Panama Papers, which was a leak from a Panamanian lawyer's office of millions of documents, which also brought down and exposed international shell games that people and companies are playing around the world in Panama and such. I mean, this is big. I mean, this is exposing the seedy underground of the rich and powerful in the world and how they hide their money. And if we know where it's hidden, we know where to get it. Essentially, I think that's what they want.
Yep.
The documents show Shakira moves all her rights between two companies she owns based in Luxembourg and Malta, which is Bermuda, which is the Bahamas.
Bermuda, Bahamas.
The Maltese company Torinasol Limited received rights to musical assets, intellectual property, and trademarks in July of 2009. The company's origin coincides with the professional takeoff of the singer's career. The discovery of the Paradise Papers was an international effort of over 400 journalists from 96 different news agencies. I mean, this was a big deal. Univision, of course, had a big contribution to that.
What's the whole papers thing like? Explain to me that whole situation, because I didn't hear about this.
So basically, it's exposing, where people are hiding their money. What are they doing to hide it? The lead up to it. Like, for instance, the Prince of Wales. He influenced a bill in the UK to pass, which is either pro-climate change or against it. Either way. Whatever the results were, it was beneficial to a friend of his. So, while he had his money hidden off-site, offshores, he invested that money into companies that would have benefited off of the laws that were changed, and he made money off of that.
But I want to also point out that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah,
it happens within our own American
trading.
Government and stuff like that, too. And, nobody looks into these sort of things for some reason. Even when it's presented to people don't really, care too much. Our society is capitalistic, and, that is a large part of capitalism, is just making money, and it doesn't really matter too much how you do it.
Laws were changed. So basically there are some congressional committees which basically hear from some companies when they're about to go public or legal disputes and such. So there are senators who know essentially how the stock market's going to go for some areas well in advance of anybody else. Now the thing is, it's illegal for congressmen to do insider trading. It is not, or at least as far as I'm aware to this day, not illegal for congressional aides to do insider trading.
Or it's not illegal for those congressional people to give it to a,
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They give it to their aides.
Oh, okay. I was going to say you give it to the aides, or they give it to an investment company and just tell the investment company.
No.
Because they could do that too.
So it's the congressional person will hear this, they tell their aides, so this is what's going to happen, or this is what this company's doing, X, Y, and Z. And that aide's okay, we're going to run with that.
Yep.
And
did you see that Hexus.net article that I sent you today? The one about the Bitcoin market dying, within the next few years.
Because of computing?
Because of quantum computing,
I mean, it only makes sense, because quantum computing is built to destroy bit mining.
I don't think
not intentionally.
That's not what it's built for.
Not intentionally, but
it's because of how quantum
because of how bit mining works.
Well, just because of the amount of raw power output that fucking quantum computing has.
Well,
it's just it'll crush it.
Depends on the situation, because the more complex the problem presented to a quantum computer, the better it will handle it.
Well, the complexity on fucking Bitcoin right now is nuts.
Yes, so they'll handle it quite well. Because they find that if you versus a supercomputer versus a quantum computer, and if the problem's rather simple, the quantum computer will be about as equivalent to the supercomputer. It really won't be that big of a difference.
Yeah.
But if you give it a problem infinitely more complex, the quantum computer will actually handle it quite effectively.
Yep.
It needs complex issues, more complex than any computer standard could easily manage.
Yep.
This quantum computing is so damn interesting.
Hey, mate. The U.S. loses 60% of career ambassadors since January. The United States has lost 60% of its career ambassadors since January, according to the head of the labor union that represents U.S. diplomats. All right, Kenneth, tell us what this means exactly.
So, basically, we have our diplomatic corps, which is our diplomats from different countries around the world. They are the front line of U.S. policy and influence around the world. And with losing all of these diplomats, these senior diplomats and such, it is a deep blow to the U.S.'s ability to influence on the world stage. It's devastating, in fact.
Yep, this is deep. As he said, this is a deep blow to U.S. ambitions on the global stage. Leadership ranks are being depleted at a dizzying speed. Barbara Stevenson, head of the American Foreign Service Association. Some are attributing this rapid loss to a decision to slash promotion numbers by more than half. President Trump refuses anyone who opposed his candidacy, and most of the Republican foreign policy establishment did. A hiring freeze has also led to a drop in entry-level staffers joining the U.S. agency tasked with worldwide diplomacy. The talent being shown the door now is not only our top talent, but also talent that could not be replaced overnight, Ms. Stevenson writes.
Yes, because there's a problem with that, because of the hiring freeze, because of the lack of promotions, and clearly budgets are probably being cut across the board. I mean, they're not going to get people in. The people who they have been aren't going to get, the experience and the senior leadership roles that they need to succeed in those areas. And it's just going to be devastating for U.S. policy abroad. And with President Trump not wanting to elect anybody to senior positions, it's just going to be quite difficult.
A year after President Donald Trump's election, there are no nominees for scores of unfilled senior posts at the Department of State. When asked about the vacancies at the U.S. Foreign Affairs offices, "I'm the only one that matters," he replied. That sounds just like exactly what narcissist, fucking overlord, Grand Führer Trump would say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is...
I mean, this is bad. This is extremely bad.
Everything about his presidency is bad. I really hope that even the most diehard... I'm going to even say most diehard retarded people that love Trump at this point. Because I don't know what to call you if you still, don't see anything at this point.
Actually, they've done studies, and they've actually found there is a subset of the Trump voter where there was nothing in their mind that could cause Trump to not be their candidate. I think they found...
But I mean, it's the same way with some other people. You can just be so opinionated towards a person or something. There's just nothing could stop you. I don't know, it's like me whenever I get dead set to things. However, with enough reasoning, you could convince me to change sides on about anything because I'm reasonable. Might take a little bit extra, but I mean, I can still look into things after you give me enough information and formulate my own opinion well, maybe that wasn't a great idea. Things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Trump just doesn't understand. Without these people, all his foreign policy bullshit isn't going to happen. He needs these people there to help get U.S. influence through.
Apparently, the man only needs himself.
Apparently so.
I mean,
clearly
he's very narcissistic and what is the word I'm looking for? There's another word to describe
conceited?
him. There you go. Conceited. That's what I was looking for. I just couldn't brain that.
Yeah.
Look at all the money we got for Extra Life. Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including from yourself.
Huh?
I said including from yourself.
Yep. Well, it's because I said, I was going dollar for dollar for anybody that donated. And Katie donated $25, so I had to donate $25. It was up to $25 because that's all I can afford, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I was yeah. It's a, contribution to make people contribute more. I don't know. Yep, it worked. So, yeah, But real quick, Pretending Empire. When are you going to get back into Bedell? When are you going to come back join us in voice chat? When are you going to come hang out? Also, you could be a special guest on one of the anime shows because you're a giant weeb too. We're trying to get guests lined up for the Weeb Show on Tuesdays. And join the guild, get good, play BDO, get dead. I don't know. Speaking of BDO, I see you're on it almost every night. Are you just on it or are you AFK?
I think I just have it open. I just have it bit mining in the background.
Basically. Because I see late at night it just pops up, Kenneth is now playing Black Desert Online. I'm uh-huh.
Right, Korean bit mining.
Yeah, Korean miner. Yeah. Alright. I'll let you go.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. I'm just going to get some ASCs on just a stupid dirt computer and just watch the traffic just kick up on them.
Did you say some ASCs? What?
Well, no. ASIC. Isn't that what it is?
What? What are you talking? I don't know. You said ASCs first. I was hey.
No. Whatever the little cards are that just are built for bit mining. Isn't
ASICs.
Yeah, ASICs.
Yeah, ASIC miners, yeah.
Yeah.
I was ASCs, no, that's that shitty system the school district uses right now.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get some ASIC miners, and I'm just going to watch the activity on them, and I'm going to turn on BDO, and then all the activity is going to ramp up on those things, and I'm I knew it! It was right!
I'm sitting there, I feel I just don't know, it just doesn't make sense. The other weird thing I thought about was, what if they're offloading some of the server, computational tasks to everybody's computer?
It could be.
I was that'd be an interesting system.
It makes sense if it's so CPU heavy.
it still uses like 20% of my CPU, which is the 8-core monster it is, when it's fucking backgrounded. It actually uses less RAM now. Like, one of the patches recently made it use less RAM, but it still uses a shit ton of CPU, and I'm like, why though? You should be in background, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Would you kindly fuck off, please? Anyway.
So this is actually really interesting.
We've already covered a story like this last year, I think, with the mosquitoes harming the bacteria.
Did we?
I believe so. This is like a recurring story again. I've seen it a couple times in the last couple of years.
Because I know they're always trying different things and approaches to get rid of all these.
The last one was for, I think, was it malaria? Or was it for Zika? I think the last one was for Zika.
This one's for Zika, too.
Oh, it's the same thing. Either that or this is one of those times where I did about future videos.
Yes.
It happens sometimes in this game. I'm going to pretend I didn't remember.
Well, Dave's gonna move some lottery numbers. Then we'll know.
I wish it was something useful. Shit, if I could Dave's gonna move some lottery numbers, you think I'd be sitting here? I would fucking move somewhere useful. Let's go Canadian. But the government wouldn't like that if I won the lottery and then moved to Canadian with all this money.
Nah, they probably wouldn't, but who can stop you? Yep. So the EPA has approved bacteria-infected mosquitoes to kill.
Oh, so the EPA approved it. So they had before the story said that they had developed and they were testing it. So maybe this is now like it's finally approved.
Could be.
Good to go. They were small scale testing it in open air environments in Louisiana.
So the lab-grown mosquitoes with Bacterium wolbachia, Pippinitis.
English? Pippin?
Is Pippin. That's how it's spelled. Could be the key to killing off insects that transmit dangerous viruses such as Zika. Interesting enough, apparently only the female mosquitoes bite. Male mosquitoes do not bite.
That's something I've known for many years because of biology.
Yes, well, for the folks at home who may not know.
So the people at home, male mosquitoes are the ones that just go up in your face and like, buzz buzz motherfucker, and they don't do anything.
I say when they fly around your ears.
Yeah, buzz buzz motherfucker.
It's like, fuck off, god damn it. On November 3rd, the EPA has approved a biotech company called Mosquito Mate with a plan that...
Did you say Mosquito Mate?
Yep, that's the company name. With a plan that infects lab-grown mosquitoes with the common bacterium Wolbachia pippinis. Pippinis.
Is it the bacteria that makes them unable to produce offspring?
Yes. Which affects mosquitoes but not animals or humans. As you said, eggs fertilized by the mosquito mate's male mosquitoes won't hatch because the paternal chromosomes don't form properly due to the effects of the bacteria.
But not only does it stop Zika, it stops mosquitoes in general from existing.
Yep.
Well, what happens whenever you kill off a large population of mosquitoes? You would fuck with the ecology.
Not really. Mosquitoes don't do anything beneficial.
No. They exist and other things eat them, so those.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Well, fuck it. Humans need it. Humans need them dead more than anything else. So lab-grown genetically modified mosquitoes that kill pests have already been tested successfully in other countries, including China and Brazil. Mosquito Mate hopes its GMO-free solution to destroy deadly mosquitoes will earn praise from those of us who want a more natural way of keeping mosquitoes that could end up making us sick out of our yards. Current areas show the testing will begin in, I think this is Kentucky, which is their home state, and it'll be Kentucky, Washington, D.C., and 20 other states will also be conducting these tests. They'll be releasing millions of mosquitoes.
See, I need to ask Donzo's resident alcoholic what to do with alcohol. What to do with Jaeger. Because I know Jaeger bombs are a thing, but like, what else can I do
go
with
to
it?
Google.
But I'd rather ask an alcoholic. It's funnier that way.
I suppose so.
They have good stories. I don't know.
It was like, I remember drinking Jaeger, and then I did X, Y, and Z and died.
And then died. I've never died. I just got really drunk and drove home. Which I tell people that they can totally do if they can do that. But not to do it. Do it if you can. Is this a different story than what I told you about? This is Intel. Oh, AMD. Why does it say Intel and... Oh, team up against NVIDIA. Okay. So this is actually using a story that I linked them with. Haha! Except he's using the Verge one instead. Doesn't matter. So on to tech news. Intel and AMD team up against NVIDIA to produce a new laptop chip. Intel and AMD are teaming up to develop a laptop chip that uses an Intel processor and AMD GPU. It's part of Intel's 8th generation and mark in first partnership between the two giants since the 1980s. AMD specified these new Intel chips will be aimed at serious gamers. Interesting. Intel says this is the first consumer product.
What's going on?
Huh? What?
These weird noises.
Where?
It sounds like it's coming from outside. I don't know, but somebody just wailing. It's just weird. I just heard it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? There's definitely no audio playing. I guess so. It just sounded weird. It's kind of like long and drawn out. I'm like, what the hell is that? Okay.
There's also a dong over here that barks at it whenever it fucking hears sirens.
Could have been.
Anyway. That's kind of like freaks me out for 2 seconds.
There's a weird noise.
I didn't hear. Shit.
Well, of course not. You have headphones that
Block
block
out
out sound,
sound.
which is I have open back headphones. I can't wait to get those new headphones in next month.
Which pair?
Both.
All 5?
2. Did I order another one? No, just 2.
I don't know. You ordered a lot of
need
things.
to order a third one.
Jeez. Intel says its first consumer product that uses EMIB, Small Intelligent Bridge Design, which allows information to pass quickly in extremely close proximity. The bridge allows chips to be both smaller and more powerful. The new chip will use HBM2 and can be used in devices including notebooks, 2-in-1s, and mini desktops.
I'm really excited for this. I really hope Intel and AMD take this partnership further. It sounds like Intel may be making moves to buy out AMD entirely.
Really? That would be interesting.
But it'd be devastating to the...
Well, it'd be bad for all of us, probably.
Yes.
Because AMD's, CPUs are getting, super high up there. They are actually... Fucking, as far as I do, is still know the AMD Threadripper, the highest level Threadripper, is better than that the newest X series that came out.
It is quite competitive.
Well, no, but I'm saying the Threadripper is instantly better than the new X series for whatever. Whatever the new multi-core X series that came out, or the K, it wasn't the K, no, it was the X. It was the 80-something X. Basically the one that takes over the old 6590X for the Intel. They're both $2,000 CPUs. But the Threadripper, actually, from what I watched original, preliminary benchmarks or whatever, that the Intel one was actually underperforming by a couple points on everything, so not really a large difference, but a large difference in comparison to the price. Because the Intel chips are more expensive, but the fact that they now don't outperform, in multi-core, multi-threaded processes, is bad for Intel. The only thing Intel still has over AMD is gaming performance on the single thread line. But when games actually start using multiple threads like they should be, because
even though they still have yet to in 2017.
Yeah, well, I want to say that that PUBG actually had multi-threaded optimization because they had released a couple patches back for multi-core CPUs. That was specifically what it said, and I saw my performance problems disappear completely. I run 60 frames all the time now. And because that's one of the biggest problems of somebody that runs AMD for gaming is that my grid struggles on some games when it shouldn't. There's no reason I should. When my 8-core processor is as powerful as what is it? The old 4770s, the 5770Ks, all of those current generations, except for the 770K. The 7700K is now better than my processor, but not by enough for me to go buy one, basically. Just in gaming performance, but not if I was streaming, which I do.
Yeah,
that's the other problem.
I'm running a 4790K.
Yeah.
Works pretty well. Although I always know in physics tests physics tests always just kill it. Because in any physics test I run, because it stresses the CPU most, I get like 45, 48 frames a second. And just pure physics.
Basically what would happen is your CPU, if you try to play Arma or what we play, Escape from Task Manager stuff, those are actually really CPU heavy games. So is Black Desert CPU heavy, and I'm still not really understanding why. It does have a good bit of physics, it seems, though. That might be why. I mean, Black Desert Online, and one of the only other reasons why I like Black Desert is because it's a pretty beautiful game even on medium settings. It's pretty. And, the fact that it's got an 8K built-in screenshot renderer engine, that's pretty cool.
Well, lots of things have the NVIDIA Ansel.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of things.
Even that doesn't work for me. Every time I try to take a shot with Ansel.
Well, a lot of Ansel doesn't work, but, BDO has Ansel support, but the BDO...
It's not good enough. It needs to work,
No. BDO has its own proprietary 8K setting in its own settings
I don't want that.
that don't use Ansel. Why? Why use Ansel when you can use the
I want to take 360 VR quality screenshots.
Is that a thing? Is that how Ansel works?
Ansel works. You can take 16K full on 360 resolution images. Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that. I was always unaware what Ansel did.
I did it in Witcher 3 and it looks amazing. The file was huge, but it looked amazing.
Well, yeah, the file's going to be huge because that resolution is just going to be massive. It's still going to be beautiful, though, which is the big point. So did you, hop in VR and, look around or something?
No, never got around to doing that, although I should.
You have your laptop back. We can now do VR stuff.
We can.
Still need to play some more Eve things.
Yeah, I know. I just got a bunch of new games, and I returned a game that I really didn't want, but possibly got anyways.
Sounds like something Kenneth would do.
But then I returned it because I didn't need it.
That's good. At least you returned it once.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Now, moving on
but
to
But also, what I got to say about this story, they're using HBM2.
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. HBM2 is really good. And
so,
also,
what kind of processor could they be using, or AMD GPU? Because I know they're using HBM2. Is it the entire... No, the entire line of the new Vega series isn't using HBM, right?
I think it is, actually.
Is it?
I think all of the new Vega series is using HBM.
Because I know obviously 56 and 64 are. And of course their Founders Edition is...
It is 56 and 64, that's it.
Is it just the only two?
I think 56 is the lower one.
Yeah, it's using HBM2.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it says it, yeah.
Okay, HBM2. RX Vega 64.
I guess let's go down here to the Vega series.
Right now again. Yeah, this is what we're showing. Boop. 64, 56, yeah.
Okay, well I guess that's really interesting. Because just imagine if you had a 64 chip, Radeon chip, right there next to practically.
Well, then the thing is these. What I was going to say about this is the chips are all the same, I guess, the die or whatever. They're both chips are right next to each other, literally on the same total chip or whatever. So the answer is die. That's what I'm looking for, I believe.
Yeah.
So they're both literally next to each other with traces straight to each other.
As Intel said, or as AMD specified, these are going to be aimed at serious gamers. Just imagine if you had, the highest end Intel processor with the built-in Radeon Vega 64 coupled with a separate 64 graphics card. Mm-hmm. Just imagine that raw power in Crossfire.
Well, realistically, you wouldn't even need that anymore. What this could possibly do, this could be like the
change
APUs.
The game.
Yeah, this could be like the old AMD APUs, which were really good at both being CPUs and doing graphics. That was one of the things
the best of both worlds, the power of Intel and AMD.
A longer time ago, the AMD APUs were really good for budget build computers because you could play a good bit of games with it, and it had and the processor was really good by itself. That's why all of the newest consoles run AMD APUs. All of them. Let me just check with the One X.
All of them do.
Yeah, I know they do, but I don't know what the One X uses now because the One X is supposed to be bigger. So it's Xbox One X specs. Official site, Field True Power. Well, want to find the actual... Oh, there we go. Full specs compared by CNET. CNET's a reliable source. Doodle boop 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 boop. All right.
GPU.
Now, the biggest deal is the 8 custom 86... Why is it still using 86? Integrated AMD graphics.
Nope, shut up.
Yep.
Seen it.
Yep, with AMD graphics with 6 teraflops performance. Wow, the Xbox One X takes a big steamy dump on the PS4 Pro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I do appreciate that it has 12 gigs of GDDR5, which is also actually using it as RAM.
It's using it as RAM and for graphics.
And for the graphics.
Which is good because
I can appreciate that because I want a computer that's using GDDR5 as RAM.
Because GDDR5 is much faster than
ludicrously fast.
And then HBM is like exponentially faster.
Oh my god, just imagine HBM2 RAM. Mm-hmm. A PCIe lanes couldn't handle it.
No.
I mean, just imagine that.
The RAM isn't supposed to be on the PCIe lanes. The RAM is on the specific RAM threads for the processor. PCI is a completely different bus system. Yeah. It's controlled by the South Bridge, I think.
Yeah.
On motherboards. I still don't know why it's using a 32-bit core system. That's kind of
because Microsoft.
But see, the AMD custom Jaguar CPU, which is what I was talking about, the GPUs.
I mean, why aren't more manufacturers moving to like HBM RAM?
Because HBM's still expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, no. AMG's doing it. I mean, they're using it in the graphics card, sure. But I mean, just imagine of that. RAM that you could not bottleneck for anything. Mm-hmm. Instant response time.
Well, think about the GDDR5 used in NVIDIA cards, and the XPs, the Titan XPs, they're 11 gigabits. What's HBM2 is still faster than that.
Yeah, it's like 100 or a couple dozen gigs.
Yeah, so if NVIDIA's would start using HBM... See, NVIDIA's doing the same thing Intel's doing, and I've noticed this over the past few years, is any person that's worked the PC, the person that's PC gaming, I'm honestly, with this same rig, I've been able to pump out as many games. The only thing I had to do is upgrade to a 10 series, NVIDIA card. But over the last few years, there's been no real notable difference for me to spend the money on a new card, a new motherboard, a new DDR4 memory. DDR4's now gotten super fast, which is good. Because when DDR4 first came out a couple years ago, it was barely above the speed that DDR3 maxes out at, and stuff like that. And then the processors weren't very much better. There was no reason to spend all of the money. And even now, just dropping a 1070 in my rig's probably going to prolong its life for the next couple of years until something actually good comes out. Threadripper was the only thing that was tempting me to build a new computer. Because the Threadripper is a substantial upgrade to what I have here. Massive. I'd probably get 32 gigs of RAM in a Threadripper and just keep this 1070. I'd be golden. And then I could run... Shit, I wouldn't even need my server anymore. I'd just take my server and throw it somewhere. Mm-hmm. And just fucking run servers off my computer while I'm using it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, speaking of servers... So, Linus did a recent video today about how servers and gaming performance and such. And he pretty much tested the same server I have at home. Mm-hmm. I think it's the same processors. Same amount of RAM. Essentially he built my server for dirt cheap.
For dirt cheap. Well, he's also Linus too. He also gets probably some free shit. And he has some other parts lying around, I'm sure.
Well, he said he bought everything off of eBay.
Oh.
But
he's also Linus, so you can be like, yo, I'm Linus Tech Tips. You want to give me that good deal on this? There's a lot of things you can do just because he's Linus, to be honest.
Yeah. And because I'd always thought, it's a server. I've always thought maybe one day I'll just get a spare graphics card, just throw it in there.
We talked about this. I've thought about doing this too in the past because you have 2 CPUs.
No, I have 4.
Oh, well, I'm talking. Okay, most server boards. Fuck you. Most server boards, 2 CPUs that are completely separate. They both have their own, sets of banks of RAM, and then they have a PCI. But they also have, I think, they have higher bandwidth on the PCI slots than normal computers.
Yeah, but basically he threw in a 1080 Ti, and game performance is terrible. It could not run any game pretty much at 60 frames.
Assuming it's because it's designed not for gaming.
Yeah, it's the processors that are, of course, the bottleneck.
Yeah. Even though the processors are huge, see, this is the thing that I was talking about. You have processors that are huge, multi-core, multi-threaded beasts, But games aren't made to run on except for like 1 or 2 threads ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And most of the games are still 32-bit, which triggers me to no end. Like, I hate when I'm looking at a game and it's like, processed 32-bit. I'm just like, no, you could be much more. And then I see games that are 64-bit, but then they're still trash. And it's like, no, you could be so much better.
Yeah. And I was like, no, Linus, crush my dreams. Why don't you?
I mean, realistically, you have over enough power. The problem is that the games aren't set up to run anything
Yeah. So he's basically like, if you want to use it for work, you have your thing. Anything else, fuck right off. And I'm like, damn it. Yeah.
So that's the other problem that I'm worried about with going to Threadripper is because I'm going to still have the same issues where I won't be able to run games as good as people, but I'll be able to run games and stream and fucking run my browsers better than everybody else at the same time. So it's like, eh.
Yeah.
And then, probably also encoding in the background for no reason.
No, it's just bit mining in the background for no reason.
Yeah, bit right in the background. Also live encoding my video. Plus the other thing is, like, with the new Threadrippers, instead of using the video card for encoding, it's actually super feasible to use the CPU as the encoder and, like, change the settings to be more intensive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. 4K HDR Blu-ray drive. Nifty.
Yeah, I don't know why Sony just gave up on... Well... No.
Why they gave up on what?
No.
I mean, these are pretty good sets. Like, yeah, the Xbox One X for $100 more, this is a much better value for sure. Which is
more powerful for sure.
Oh yeah, much more powerful. Well, it's the same, like a better value, slightly more heavy.
I mean, 150% more powerful than PS4 Pro.
Yeah, it's only $100 more. And like I said, they're using about the same. This is probably the newest like AMD custom CPU for them because both like the PS4 and the Xbox One were originally using the same. They were using the same boards and basically the same processors. They were like almost...
But I mean, as it is, it's still all AMD.
Yeah. You know who's truly winning the console war? AMD. But I like I said, like we're sitting here talking about, I'm liking how AMD is actually like... Intel's not changing much of anything throughout their chip series. The other thing they might be changing and doing better on is their server stuff. But like
they're getting better at efficiency.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing AMD doesn't have is AMD's, fucking touted as like your... heater, basically.
Pretty much.
But AMD actually has gotten better with the Threadrippers too. They use less energy even now while they're also much better. So, like, AMD's improving slowly. The thing is that I'm still saying is that Intel isn't improving as basically as much as AMD is because they've been in the lead forever. But AMD is, like, finally biting their ass, and so maybe they're going to produce some good shit.
Yeah, when you cards are down, you're forced to innovate.
Yep. Which is good. Anyways... there you go. Now it's your turn. It's a good topic. We had a good time there.
So Logitech will intentionally break Harmony Link devices next year. The only compensation the company is offering is a 35% discount for its new Harmony Hub, the device that replaces the Harmony Link.
That seems stupid.
Yeah, well, it's a money-making venture.
I mean, I love Logitech. Why would you do this to me?
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. They don't have to brick it.
No. But I guess if they don't, people won't change, to be
Exactly.
honest.
That's what they want. So the device has been around since 2011. And of course, like I said, certainly raised a lot of red flags considering that paying customers who purchased hardware will no longer be able to use the devices. Upon purchase, users were not trying to buy a subscription or other service that requires ongoing payments. So it's a one-and-done kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Logitech doesn't want that. So like I said, they're offering up the discount to try and get those customers to return back. For now, and they basically have a little email blurb basically saying, hey, we're going to kill your link. Here's your discount. Here's your link to the hub. Buy it. Fuck right off. The Logitech Harmony team. For now, Logitech customers have been given no choice but to hand over more cash for new hardware if they want to continue using their Harmony Link hub and apps. From a consumer standpoint, this is absolutely unacceptable. To be clear, the Harmony Link was originally released on October 1st of 2011, and the MSRP was $100.
Which isn't actually that bad.
And it basically just allowed you to use your cell phone, whatever, to control your Logitech devices.
Yeah. Well, I knew like a lot of the Harmony controllers were like super cool. I always liked the whole Harmony controller setups. They could be used for everything. Anything and everything. Anyway, carrying on now. Senators push to ditch Social Security numbers in light of Equifax Act. Eyeing more security alternatives to Social Security numbers, lawmakers in the U.S. are looking abroad. Today, the Senate Commerce Committee questioned numerous technology companies' CEOs about the best practices for replacing Social Security numbers. Over 145 Americans' insecure identities are now forever at risk. As we've talked about here with the Equifax breach, it's bad. It's very bad for everybody. Like any of our information, any one of us that has, information that could have been leaked, there probably was, honestly.
Absolutely, yeah.
It can be sold at any time.
It's probably already been sold and resold 1 billion times.
Yeah, you might not be affected now, but eventually,
I mean, it's gonna wait.
Affected.
Anybody who's smart, they're just gonna give it like 5 years, and then just bam, just take out everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway. And they have limited ability to protect themselves. Wilkinson said, "A key question for this committee to consider is what do we now? I guess know now, given or what do we do now, given these identities are forever compromised?" Brazil's model of citizen IDs was mentioned repeatedly at this meeting. In this model, a certificate lasts for 3 years at maximum and can be used to issue a digital signature, much like written signatures are used now. Unlike its counterpart in the U.S., these identity accounts can be revoked and reissued easily through an established national protocol.
See, that's pretty interesting to see. So we all just have a little ID and, get stolen. Here, you guys take it here. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam.
Well the other thing is to just, go through and reissue a just completely different set of Social Security numbers. If they want to keep Social Security.
I don't think they do. And it's clearly an archaic system because it's just a single number on a piece of paper.
You only get 3 changes in your entire lifetime if you ever get if you ever get hacked or if you ever lose your Social Security, stuff like that. You only get 3 changes in your lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, it's archaic and it needs to be updated. I mean, we're in the 21st century. I mean, with my cell phone, there's nothing that can't be authenticated with this little device in my hand. I mean, just give us a digital card or something.
Just don't go to RFID chips, implants. Don't go to implants. That's all I care about.
I mean, if I could get my credit card implanted on here, so I can just swipe and go.
Alright, market base 666, blah, 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 Illuminati, boo woo, and all that other stuff. Anyway, members of the Senate Committee also advocated for rigorous data security rules. But expanding the FTC authority to enforce them and stiffer penalties to motivate companies to protect consumers proactively, which is good. I mean, there's already some organizations out there that protect consumer stuff, like the, coming from IT background, there's a lot of,
like the EFF.
There's a lot of different, I guess, security.
Or the Consumer Protection Board.
Consumer Protection. What's the other one? I'm thinking about the credit card one. That's a big one. It's really anal.
The
PCI compliance? That's what it is. It's PCI compliance. Yeah, PCI compliance is a big one, and they're really anal. The funny thing is as me and him both have worked for companies, I worked for a global scale company that wasn't even fucking PCI compliant. Some of these compliance things are really bad because a lot of these companies that deal with your credit card information on a daily basis aren't even compliant and even a loosely stringent
thing. PCI compliance is not even a federal regulation. It's just it just looks nice. There's nothing holding people.
It's not federally regulated. Actually, no, I think it is. It's PCI compliance is a board of people that's underneath some sort of federal agency.
I don't think it is. I think the PCI compliance is just a way for people to make money off of, just trying to say, trying to force companies to be like, oh yeah, you're good, your security's up to date and stuff, basically.
Well, no, because my boss, old boss, was saying that if they didn't get PCI compliant by a certain time, that they were going to be prosecuted or whatever. It was a thing that had to be done. Anybody that deals with credit card information has to have it. Basically, is the thing. It's a requirement. It might be, like you're saying, it might just be a board of people that got together and were like, well, yeah, the credit card bureaus or credit card people, got together and were like, well, if you don't do this, we control this because we're the credit card companies, then, you'll get fined or whatever. Which kind of is weird to think about because if they're not a federal, appointed agency, they don't really have the right to fine you.
I mean, they could still fine them, but I mean...
But you don't have to pay it. It's one of those things that's
But then they could just stop doing business with you, and if you got Visa or MasterCard saying, yeah, we're not going to deal with you anymore, well, Ben, you've just lost all of your revenue.
That's a good point, too. So, I mean, it's one of those things. But that's a shady business practice, though. It's kind of aids.
Yeah, but Visa and MasterCard and American Express, of course, are the biggest.
Nobody uses Amex.
Unless you're stupidly wealthy.
Really? Because the Amex, like, that's one thing that I hated whenever I have an Amex card. And, like, a lot of times it's not accepted in places.
Yeah, Amex isn't accepted in a lot of places. Like, MasterCard, I think, is accepted most everywhere.
Yeah, MasterCard is, like,
and
everywhere.
Visa is, of course, a close second. Because anywhere MasterCard is accepted, Visa is pretty much also accepted in the modern world.
And there's those Discover cards.
Yeah. I have a Discover card.
No, I think
it has the highest limit of all my cards. For some reason.
Probably because nobody uses them.
I don't know. They just give me money.
I don't know. Just give me that. But yeah. As stated by committee member Bill Nelson, the parade of high-profile data breaches seems to have no end. We can either take action with common sense rules, or we can start planning our next hearing on the issue, which is all true. And again, coming from the IT world, we can speak. This is one of the best things about us. We can speak in text because this is the kind of business that we're in and what we work with. Like, data breaches are probably always going to happen. If somebody wants your data, realistically, there's nothing you can do to stop it.
No.
There's nothing you can do. If it's plugged in and on, or even, I would say on the internet specifically, but if it's on a network even.
Yeah, if it's on a network, because they've gotten into air-gapped networks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's on a network, like, unless it's in a closed network, that's the only
Well, no, that's what an air-gapped network is. An air-gapped network is a network not connected to the internet. It's basically, you have a building, and you have an internal network, and that's it. There is no outside connection. Like, the White House is air-gapped to prevent, of course, viruses and malware and such.
Well, yeah, it can prevent, connections from the outside, but it can't prevent somebody from going in.
Yeah, no, if somebody's inside. Yeah. But, I mean, not much can prevent that. What? Not much can prevent that.
No. Nothing. This is the one thing, rule of IT. Nothing can stop physical access. Like, if they can get physical access, there's nothing you can do at that point. Literally nothing. So that's why there's the stupid. That's one of the funniest things about servers. There's those locked things on them, but like most of them are just a joke. I don't know. I've broken off like a couple of those Dell ones on accident. I just pushed in the tab and it just snapped, and I was like, I just put it back on there. Like, I was trying to show my family a video like how to deal with one of the servers at home because I was trying to tell them how to turn it on. I was like, dude, so all you have to do is I'm filming. So you push this little tab and you pull, and as I pushed it in, I fucking snapped it off in there, and I was like. Pulled off. I was like, I think I just fucking broke this. Yeah, so that's all you have to do. And just push the power button. And just put it back. I was like, nobody will ever notice.
Just use a little too much force.
A little bit too much force.
So, nearly half of Colorado counties have formally rejected a Comcast-backed law restricting city-run internet.
Ooh, what is this?
So after Tuesday's election, a total of 31 counties now have voted to be exempted from a state law against municipal broadband networks. So we have Senate Bill 152, lobbied for by, of course, the big telecom companies, became law in Colorado in 2005, forcing counties to have to vote to exempt themselves from the law. It's ridiculous.
What?
Yeah. So basically the law
the law says you have to force yourself to exempt yourself. What?
Yeah. The law says you can't do municipal internet unless you vote and it passes to exempt yourself from being applied to by this law.
Weird.
It's stupid as fuck.
Well, I mean, like, I wonder what happened. Remember when there was talk about us getting Clear Sky or whatever the internet in town? Remember a couple of years back we were going to get an entire like citywide network? No, you don't remember that?
Yeah.
There was an ISP that was going to provide Wi-Fi across the entire city, and it was like trying it out in other cities.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, of course we'd shut it down because our people are fucking dumb, but we could have had better internet before.
I wonder if we could do that. I wonder if the city will be over with that now with Jackson Electric, since they have that whole data center right there.
That's a good point. Because, I mean, they have two towers. They have a tower, I think, out that way, and they have one out that way. And so, like, Bay City's in the middle between, like, most of their towers. Like, for instance, my mom's house, they were saying it's, like, literally in between most of the towers, so we could have good reception all the time. Which is nice.
So why don't you just go with them for internet, then?
My mom never, so she's basically abandoned the idea because it's a 2-year contract, first of all. And she was hoping that, like, if something happens and we might move away, or if something happens, like, she wanted to get the office building downtown, basically. So she didn't want to buy, 2-year contract with internet. However, they will let you like lower it. The speed's decent. The price is, I guess, reasonable for what it is. I don't remember. I think I had the information on my computer. Doesn't Amazon trying to do it? But like, what are we talking about? Global internet? Question mark?
I know like Google's trying, like Google Loon, and Elon, of course, is doing a satellite internet network.
Well, I know Google has.
Actually, I think I remember that.
Carrier.
I think I remember somebody was saying that Amazon was testing out internet drones in Puerto Rico to provide a network.
Really?
I think I read that somewhere.
That one I made a little bit too strong. Good though.
Yeah. But no, it's really exciting. Like, John actually brought up the idea of a citywide municipal network built using the school's infrastructure.
Yeah. I would go for that if the school would fucking use not the stupid hub-spoke infrastructure they have. Well, if they'd stop using that, then yes, I'd go for it.
Well, I think our plans have to do with, Trey was talking about, we're building our own fiber network with Jackson Electric.
Or whoever. I don't know if Jackson... See, Jackson Electric, the problem is with that is that, like, Polly and them, we were on board, but, like, the school board wasn't on board. Or somebody wasn't on board with that.
Well, let's see.
And that's how I ended up, getting that job offer, was through that lady. I should actually contact her and see if she has any other, like, people that she could send me to, now that I think about it. She's a really good hit. That's a really nice lady, too.
Yeah. But,
do you have her information? Like, do you ever need to talk to her? I could set up a meeting with her. We can all just go out to lunch one of these days.
Sounds good.
Alright.
Be like, hey, we're both two, intelligent, technical people. Maybe Jackson Electric's looking for some folks.
Oh, not for another year. Oh, okay, you're trying to get out still? You're not trying to get out. But remember, they were going to abuse us.
Yes.
Also, you'd have to learn Juniper.
I mean, if both of us were there.
I mean, yeah, but we still both have to learn Juniper.
It shouldn't be too difficult. I know Cisco. It should be essentially the same thing.
I think it's probably close to the same thing, except it's like Juniper specific. I don't know, I've noticed that some people use Juniper too. Like, most people use Cisco, Juniper, or HP. I've seen a lot of HP jobs.
Besides, being an ISP really shouldn't be too difficult. It's just internet out, pretty much it. I mean, you really shouldn't have to do much.
Kenneth, are you sure about that? I feel like you're missing some things.
I mean, maybe, of course, bandwidth limitations for people. But other than that, it really shouldn't be too difficult. Well, like, as long as you're not applying rules and filter shit.
Yeah.
Well,
the other thing was managing other people's thing, like having a data center that we would rent out to people. But see, then I'd be like, that was one of the first things I would say is like, so we have this data center here with a 10 gig link to like two 10 gig, like a 10 gig link and a redundant 10 gig link to another city. It's like, so this FEMA shelter and everything, can I put my server in here? Just put my server in there and call it a day. It's like, so this one rack slot here, I'm just going to take it. Do any of you guys care? No, nobody cares? Cool. And I'm like,
I mean, you're running the show.
Hey, Kenneth.
Yeah, I can finally have a home for my server.
There you go. And a completely whatever. He's missing a lot. There you go. Who's missing a lot? I don't understand. I don't know. But yeah, just freaking stick it in there and be good. I don't know. I think I pissed away that job position though, because I said no originally. Mm-hmm. If I would, like I said, I told my mom, if I would have known things would have got that bad, I wouldn't have taken the job. I really didn't think they were going to get that bad that fast. He's missing a lot about the ISP. Who, him? He's missing a lot about the Amazon ISP?
I mean...
Oh, no, I think he's talking about the whole, like, the behind-the-scenes things of running the ISP. Also, the fact that we would have to be going out on fucking, like, when Hurricane Harvey happened, we'd be out here in Bay City, like, first
on location, making sure the...
But the cool thing is we might, like, be able to stay at the FEMA Dome if, like, some bad shit happens. Or just stay in the server room because it's FEMA rated.
Yeah.
Just be like, no, fuck that.
There's generators there, and then backup generators.
Oh yeah, there's generators. There's like 2 redundant backup generators, I think they were telling me. There's a lot of redundancy. Like, they actually made probably the county's only proper fucking room. The only other proper data center that's built that way is supposedly inside the FEMA Dome is a proper data center. I don't know why the school district didn't decide to put anything in there. They really probably should have. Because the school district's data center is just ass.
Yes.
So it's like, But then again, they'd be like, oh no, we have to route it to external sources, but I think you get access to the building 24/7 or something. Like, we would have a key to the room and stuff like that. But yeah, no, that it was my friend was telling me, the guy that works at the hospital, he said the hospital rented out a spot in there because it's the hospital's building technically on top of everything, but also because it's a super hardened data center environment. It's FEMA Class 3 or whatever.
Maybe I should suggest to move.
You can always ask it. See what call Jack's Electric up and see what their service is, and like tell John about it, because it's not a bad idea, and it would be there up most of the time.
So, nearly half of all counties in Colorado have voted to exempt themselves from the law. Cities like Longmont, Colorado, have rolled out their own internet service, which has been rated the fastest in the nation by PC Magazine.
That's interesting. I wish our county was smart enough to do that. But then again, our county's so dumb that they only wanted to pay a new network admin. They didn't even want to pay him $20,000 a year. Because remember, I called that guy. He's like, I would love to have you. You're well overqualified, but this job doesn't offer any money. And I was like, at this point, I might need to call him back and be like, hey, we got any more of them jobs for shitty money? $30,000 is about what I'm making right now, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess I can go work for that. I can go work for a group of dicks that are just like, oh, hey, look, yeah, what's IT? What's a computer? Why isn't it fixed yet? I feel like it'd be the same problem as the school district if they don't understand what IT is and what it's worth. Mm-hmm. Bricker does, because Bricker's all on social media. But like the rest of the county is a bunch of old people that don't understand anything.
Yep.
Okay.
Anyways, so studies show that cities in Colorado are turning towards developing their own service rather than waiting for the big telco companies to develop their own service for them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, good on you, Colorado, for putting it down and
first of all, you got marijuana, and then you're like, dude, we have so many stoners. We need to give them the internet service so they can just stone out and watch Netflix.
Damn straight.
Good job. Now, if you could get like Uber Eats in all of your cities, I think you guys would be golden.
Yeah.
Anyway, alrighty then. FBI ignores Apple's olive branch to get data from Texas shooter iPhone. Apple extended an olive branch to the feds this week in the hopes the company could assist with the investigation into the man who shot and murdered at least 26 in a rural Baptist church of Sutherland Springs, Texas on Sunday. But the FBI appears to be blanking the tech titan. Apple was in touch with the FBI offering assistance after it heard remarks from the FBI team they were having trouble accessing the iPhone. Apple offered legal assistance by promising to expedite any requests that came in. Technical assistance in the form of a checklist for the FBI to follow its methods to unlock the iPhone. It appears Apple's offer of expedition and its proactive approach were an attempt to avoid another protracted and costly legal battle with the feds after the San Bernardino debacle. The FBI may be relying on hackers similar to the ones that paid $1 million to hack the iPhone in question rather than working with Apple. Probably because they're like, well, Apple, since you fucked us over last time, and because you were unwilling to cooperate, fuck you guys. Which is a reasonable approach.
No, it's a ridiculous approach. The FBI should be like, okay, since you want to help us, we'll send our judges, we'll get a judge on the line, we'll get warrants sent in, you're all going to expedite them, fine, give us everything you got.
Yeah.
That's what the FBI should be doing. But no, the FBI is like, no, Apple, you slighted us before, so fuck off.
That's
the wrong approach.
That's a normal approach to things. Just get hackers to do it instead and be like, fuck you, Apple. Because that also shows that Apple's can be hacked by people.
Yeah, for $1 million.
Well, just because the government, it's probably, because the reason why the government had to pay $1 million to somebody is because that's illegal in the first place. So I wonder if they got something more than just $1 million, like a little amnesty here and there for something they've done. Because
they're obviously illegal to hack, I don't think.
Yes, it is illegal to hack. Well, it's literally federally illegal to hack anything.
As a federal employee, that's essentially what they were. They're outsourcing it to contractors to do federal work.
It still doesn't make it any more legal.
It does if the FBI is doing it. So if the government's doing it...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in the contract, that person... Because they probably have to, first of all, know this person knows what they're doing. So they've probably illegally hacked a ton of shit. So they probably asked for amnesty on some of those things. That's like what... If I was a notorious hacker, and the government ever contacted me for some services like that, fuck yeah, that's what I would do.
Then again, yeah, amnesty, sure. But the government probably wouldn't even be able to catch you.
True. How would they contact this person anyway? Unless there were already somebody working there.
Government has feelers everywhere on the dark web and all that jazz. They probably just put it out there. Yeah, we're the FBI. We're going to pay you $1 million. They just rolled up on
anonymous IRC and was like, the FBI. And then it's just like...
We're the actual FBI. And we're going to give somebody who can crack this iPhone millions of dollars. Find us something.
Yep. There you go. That's hilarious, though. Yep. But anyway, yep. So, there you go. It's what happens.
Yep.
Oh, man.
On to stupid news.
Yep, on to stupid news. Oh, we've only got a few stories left. But it'll be great. It'll be grand. It'll be something or another. Kenneth will start us off here with a story.
Yes. So, top at 10.
Oh my god. Oops, I misspelled stupid.
You misspelled stupid.
Anyway. I like this story right here. Yes. I will drink to that.
Listening to too much Christmas music is bad for your health, according to clinical psychologists. Clinical psychologist Linda Blair found that listening to Santa Claus is Coming to Town on repeat could actually have a negative effect on your brain.
That's why my mom's retarded.
People working in shops at Christmas have to tune out Christmas music because if they don't, it really does stop you from being able to focus on anything else.
Alright, so this reminds me, let's back that ass up for a minute. I don't think I remember I told you the stories about working at Walmart. I heard the entire movie of Frozen 20,000 times. I heard that bitch all the way across. Okay, so our Walmart is a super Walmart. I'm working in Pets, which is in the forwardmost right-hand corner of the store. And then the
electronics
TV area
is in the center of the
electronics
store.
in the back center of the store, all the way across. So but you could hear it at night because there's nobody in there. You could hear fucking Frozen 24/7. I heard "Let It Go" 20,000 times over that entire fucking half of the year. So AIDS. I don't even remember the song though because I never listened to the lyrics or never listened to it, but I just remember the sounds and how annoyed it made me. Basically, I just popped in headphones and listened to music the whole time. When I was storing 50, 70-pound bags of dog food all the day. Dude, that was the shittiest part about working in that department. Nobody wanted that because, the amount of dog food bags. I got pallets that were up to that basically to the ceiling sometimes. It was pure AIDS. I'm just sitting there, I look up and I'm like, this fucking sucks.
And then it collapses. And you're dead.
Oh, no, it wouldn't kill me. It just won't feel very good. But, yeah. It was fine. That's fine. That happened once, and it just all fell over before. And I was like, yay.
And it's as she says here, you're spending all of your energy trying not to hear what you're hearing. You're hearing all this bullshit, and you're just trying to tune it out. And then you have to focus on that, which means you lose concentration. And all this shit. However, research actually shows that striking a good balance between festive smells and music can positively affect the shopping environment, making customers happier. Slower tempo slow shoppers down, meaning they'll stay longer in shops, whereas fast-paced tunes can rush customers through stores much quicker.
But then you have me, that it's just always in and out.
Yeah, I guess that's the same here. I was like, I'm just gonna go in, get what I'm gonna get, maybe look around in electronics because
that's exactly what I do. It's I'll look around in electronics for no reason, basically, because nothing changes. It's always the same shit. Except for the other day, I saw in the game section where they used to have all the time cards. They have now a movie thing, a new movie case there, and it had the whole thing was full of different animes that I'd never seen before. A lot of them were on sale for super cheap, $10 and stuff. I picked up one of them, and I was like, "That's cool." And then I went there a week later, and it was all gone, and it's now doesn't exist anymore. And there was stacked full copies of the anime, and now it's just not out there anymore. And I'm like, well, fuck, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah,
so stupid.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting. It's a part of that's a part of human psychology and, how humans react to tempo and such. Because humans, we like to match the tempo of music. Whenever, there's music playing or something, a lot of people will go match the beats and match the tempo of music. If there's music in a store or something. So, I mean, what they're saying here is quite accurate, because this is what happens.
I mean, it's like whenever I fucking listen to fucking super high BPM, like fucking double up dance weeaboo stuff from like Osu. And I'm just like, you know, like green eggs and ham. That's why it pisses me off when I play Osu or rhythm games and like the beats and the notes that you're supposed to hit for the game are off. And I'm like, it's off! Triggering!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, this isn't really too surprising to me, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, right. Thousands of Americans who screamed helplessly at the sky on Trump's election anniversary. What? Over 4th. God damn it. This is one of those Facebook group things.
Yes, it is.
This is like the whole Naruto running across the bridge thing and all those other ones.
Planking.
And the fucking Super Saiyan thing, yelling at your Super Saiyan at Washington. All that stuff. Those are always hilarious. Anyway. Over 4,000 Facebook users have RSVP'd. Another 33,000 are interested in attending to the November 8th event being held in Boston that is literally titled Scream Helplessly at the Sky on the Anniversary of the Election. The administration has attacked everything about what it means to be American. John O'Schulman, a local activist in Cambridge who is working on organizing the event, told Newsweek Friday. Who wouldn't feel helpless every day? Coming together reminds us that we are not alone, that we are part of an enormous community of activists who are motivated and angry whose actions can make a difference. This is just one of multiple different kinds of demonstrations created against President Trump. One group bakes cupcakes for Republican lawmakers when they derail Trump's conservative agenda. Interesting. That's kind of cool. I mean, fuck, if I was a Republican, give me cupcakes. Shit. Dude, cupcakes go a long way.
I'm about to fuck up some Trump agenda. Get some cupcakes.
That's pretty cool. That seems like one of the best like things that I've seen, honestly. Instead of like hate mail and death threats and stuff, that's pretty cool. While the event calls upon people to scream helplessly, we want to convert that sense of helplessness into resistance, into action, and maybe into optimism, Shulman continued. Although it is important to acknowledge the tragedy that befell our country on November 9th, we cannot let it defeat us.
So, what this news article doesn't actually cover, because of course it's the news, and they don't know these things, this is actually an organized event by 4chan.
Of course.
And then idiots are running with it, thinking it's legitimate, like this person here, and actually...
I mean, people are actually going to go to it and do it.
Of course, because they're idiots.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, it works. They'll find other people, and then, like, watch Antifa come out and just start passing out cards.
Well, that's the entire point. I mean, 4chan's objective is to rile up the left and get them to do stupid shit. So that people in the center will be like, these people are idiots. Let's ignore them. Mm-hmm. Like they recently did a campaign where it's basically, I forget what it was, but basically they wanted to do something inflammatory on Halloween, and they basically tell people to put up signs saying it's okay to be white. Because just trigger people. So, like, on Halloween night, they fit in, they had rules, do it in public areas, don't be violent, don't, cause harm. Just go into public spaces, just show it off. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing. And they want to see people triggered. And that's what they did.
Something I need to get into.
And then, there's a ton of news articles the next day. They were like, all these signs having up in Cambridge and etc. and all these liberal havens and colleges and cities, and it's being investigated by police and possible hate crimes and bullshit. Because everybody's freaking panicking. Mm-hmm. And it's just so damn funny. I mean, 4chan, they know how to manipulate people.
Dude, it's 4chan. Like, honestly, if psychologists sat on 4chan all day, they'd probably figure out the human psyche. Or at least the worst of the human psyche, for sure. Because that's all you're going to get on 4chan.
So, man admits spraying racist graffiti on his own car, police said.
Nice.
Let's see. A Kansas man confessed to spraying racist graffiti on his own car as a Halloween prank, Kansas police said on Monday. Dontarius?
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 Probably Dontarius.
Dontarius,
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Dontarius, probably. Dontarius sounds... Yeah.
Just
Dontarius sounds racially correct.
Dentarius Williams, 21, admitted to spraying the racist graffiti in his own car that featured racial slurs like "Go home, date your own kind, and die." Let's click on that link. Let's pull up the picture of that.
Is there a link?
Yeah.
Is it right here? No, I had to reverse the picture.
There we go.
Jesus fucking Christ! Is that done in paint? Or that's like one of those like paint chalk markers that'll come off. Look at these shittily painted rooms.
Yeah, so let's show the people this picture.
Here we go, baby. This is what we're looking at.
Yeah. I mean, poorly written.
Can I enhance this any better? No, it doesn't look like it. No, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Boy, date your own kind. Fuck you. Didn't. I assume that was supposed to be the end word right there, but it was kind of
Something die. Is that demon?
Huh? Oh, demon. Fuck you, die, Demontrius. I guess that's his name. I don't know. It's not demon. There's not an E there.
Well, I'm looking at it.
Stupid die.
N-word.
Stupid. I don't know. I have no. It's terribly written. It looks like a Dodge Avenger.
Yes.
Or a
So the Riley County Police Department said authorities have decided not to charge the man for filing a false report, saying it would not be in the best interest of the citizens. No, it definitely would
file
be.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, no, file him for filing. Charge him for filing a false report. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man. The law applies evenly, and when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Genetic lottery.
This is what this guy did. He tried to, rustle up some victim bucks and, get a little attention. So the picture, of course, prompted condemnation on social media. Schools increased their security, and the FBI opened up a civil rights investigation.
What? Why did schools increase security? Oh, I guess because it could have been taken as a threat.
Yeah.
I suppose. Well,
just wasting the FBI's
especially
time.
to cause that much of a problem. I would actually say that this is textbook terrorism. That is actually a terrorist act because it has a sort of political agenda, and also it caused terror and causes all of these groups to become increase heightened security. Also, so
terror generally means using violence to that means. That's if you look at
that is kind of violent though.
I mean, it's not violent. It's like physical violence.
But I mean, I don't know. The way the terrorism is used still now today is again horribly wrong. It's like they're calling the detective shooter guy a terrorist or whatever. Even though I don't think he had any.
As far as we know, there's no political motive. Some people said he's an atheist. I don't know about that exactly.
Well, it's like the other dude, the Las Vegas shooter. His wasn't racially or his wasn't politically stirred either.
Yeah,
he was called a terrorist.
A domestic terrorist.
Yeah, but he's though as we look up here live on the screen or whatever, the meaning of terrorism is for violence,
using violence or coercion
using violence
for a political means, usually.
Yeah.
Just using
proper,
guns and such.
which makes sense. Which is literally what ICE does. They are literally a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
Girlfriend calls police to turn in boyfriend for reward money while together in stolen car. The girlfriend of a man accused of stealing a rental car from the Nashville airport called police to turn him in for reward money while allegedly riding in the stolen car. Okay. The theft originally took place in July when Chance Mungian jumped the counter of a rental car facility at the airport, grabbed keys, and fled in a 2017 Dodge Challenger.
At least he had good luck with that.
It was decent car choice there. Police dispatchers received a call from Mungan's girlfriend, told police she knew Mungan had stolen the car, but would not reveal his intentions until she received reward money, saying she knew the law very well and didn't have to give him up. I mean, kind of true. Well, no, because that's aiding and abetting or whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, police say Cardwell told them she was actually in the stolen car and will give the exact location only when she had reward money. Police caught up with the 38-year-old Cardwell, and she was booked into the Davidson County Jail on Tuesday for accessory after the fact. According to the affidavit, Cardwell attempted to harbor and abet a fugitive and intended to hinder his arrest and refused to provide aid to assist in Mogul's arrest.
Yeah, she's going to get a couple more charges thrown on here for her for all of this. But I mean...
I like this last one you have on here. I like your description on there. That's beautiful.
That's what's going to happen.
God damn it. Fucking Kenneth.
It's just too damn short to do anything else. Like, if I cut out any more, there would be no story here.
I mean, she's pretty cute.
Accused
She looks like she's like crying or something.
Accused bank robber duped dad into giving her a ride to job interview, police say. Florida, of course it's Florida.
Pandas people. And Ken's
It's also my people.
Yeah.
It's because I was born in that cursed state. No, I love Florida. I love the beaches of Florida. They're amazing. A Florida woman accused of robbing a bank may have gotten her father involved in a crime without him knowing. Chelsea Wilson was arrested Friday morning after she allegedly robbed a TD bank in Fort Lauderdale, my home city.
Also, where Panda is.
On Thursday afternoon, police said Wilson's father told them he drove her to the bank because she told them she was going to a job interview, according to the Florida Sun-Sentinel. Sometime between leaving the car and going to the job interview, the 24-year-old suspect covered her blonde locks with a red wig and put a hat and sunglasses on, according to the complaint obtained by Local 10. Wilson allegedly entered the bank shortly before 4 p.m. and handed the teller a handwritten note demanding money. The note said you have exactly 1 minute to give me all your $50 and $100 bills from both your drawers, or I will shoot you. No die packs, no alarms. Follow these instructions, and no one will get hurt. Act normal. This is the ridiculous. This is part of the ridiculous part. She made off with only $300. Like I know banks. Banks have way more than just $300 in those drawers. I mean, like really, it's a poor bank robber.
Yep.
So, exited the bank into the parking lot that FBI agents later determined was registered to her father. Wilson's father he thought the cash his daughter had was in advance, according to the authorities. Witnesses reported Wilson after recognizing her as someone wanted in connection with 4 other recent robberies, according to the Palm Beach Post.
Wow, so she had done this a lot then, basically.
Wilson admitted to committing all 5 robberies and said she spent the money collected from the most recent heist on groceries. God damn. She just keeps just like, one bank's not enough, let's keep going.
Well, I mean, she spent it all on groceries. I don't know. That sounds like one of those, like, she did what...
Well, she says she spent it on groceries.
I mean,
for a person to commit 4 the bank robberies.
I mean, if she only got like $100, $200 to $300 from each of them, it's very
plausible. You want to go through the the Huffington Post Dumb Criminal Mugshot Gallery?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
I'm lazy. But we've did it. We've done it. We had a short newscast. We covered everything. We did
this
good
new
here
format's
for once.
letting us...
Yeah, how do you guys feel about the new format? Anybody that's here?
Yeah.
Did you say pricks? Did you say pricks? We call them pricks?
No.
Oh, okay. You sure?
No.
Where's fucking Mad Kid? He's one of the main proprietors.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good thing for sure. I mean, like I said, we focused more on topics. Mm-hmm. We covered everything, which is something we've only done one at a time.
We've done it a lot more than that. We've done it more than one time. We've done it a couple weeks in a row.
No, that was the first time we did it.
What? Covered all the stories before?
Maybe we've done
we've done it a couple times.
Maybe in the beginning.
We did it a lot of times, and I don't know, a lot of times you're kind of late. You're like, oh yeah, I'm coming over. Before you even went to go get food, you'd be like, I'm coming over, and I'd be like, that means I should expect him in 30 minutes from now. I don't know what the hell you do. You're like, yeah, I'm coming right now. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there waiting for Kenneth, and he's just like, doesn't say anything. Then he appears like 30 minutes later, and I'm like, how did it take you 30 minutes to get across town, my man? Yeah. It takes me maybe 15 max, depending on where I'm going in town.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it takes kind of a long time to get across town, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the town's so
I know, it's
small.
not even a big town.
Yeah, it's because of the goddamn red lights, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on Table Talk Thursday, episode 31. Please, give us your feedback. Let us know. We have Discord. It's in the description down there on Twitch. Let us know how you feel, if anything needs to be changed or all that jazz. And join us again next week.
Yes, join us again next week for more Table Talk Thursday, episode 32, where we cover more news. And also on Tuesday, I have a special guest coming for our Anime Talk Show Tuesday, which this guy, my co-host here isn't a part of, but the other co-host Highkick is a part of. We'll have somebody special coming in from Cast or Die, the other stream group that I am a part of. And we'll figure it out. I'm keeping it a mystery for a couple of my guys that keep trying to figure out who it is.
So definitely check it out on Tuesday. Really brilliant anime show. I've watched it. It's great.
And then maybe we'll also have some other BDO action. Hopefully we can get some Node Wars in this week and do some other things as the games do that. Maybe we'll get another guild boss battle in. Who knows? But anyway, catch us here next time. Next time we go live. Make sure to follow. And also follow on Twitter. Usually I'll tweet out sometimes. Been kind of neglecting that a tad bit. Working on it. But anyway, otherwise, have a good night, everybody. We'll see some of you in Discord later. It was nice seeing everybody. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. Goodbye.